I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Shit on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up.
By worth, I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts.
Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the back, never leave. She's so bad, hit the gym, hit the black.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Hollow Sports All Plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hollow Sports All Plays.
Welcome to the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown Show. We're getting moving right along here this season. We're in week 13, the last regular season football game before we hit to the conference championship games here on the All Sports, All Plays Network next week. We got the Army-Navy game coming up in next week also. That's the final football game for the Navy Army football teams. So we're going to be breaking down some games here today. We had a lot of games played yesterday. We'll be running the scores down here at the bottom. You can come and join us on our Facebook, social media platforms, Facebook, Twitch, Roku TV, Twitter, our YouTube. If you subscribe to our Facebook, go to our YouTube and subscribe there too. Also, we need more subscribers over on our YouTube channel. So if you got the Facebook, you might as well just go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to the All Sports, All Plays networks. You can see it down here at the bottom there. It's strolling. So, and we'll go ahead and we'll update you the college playoffs as we're coming along on the show today. I'm waiting on my co-host Dre Montez to come on board here. He probably had some good turkey on Thanksgiving. How everybody's Thanksgiving holiday season, everybody got the leftover turkeys, leftover meals. How many people are still eating on their leftover? Comment here on the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown Show as we move along here on the show. Let's go ahead and take care of some stuff, some housekeeping here. If you like the All Sports, All Plays Network, why don't you send us some stars? Stars will help us make money to make more content for you here on the All Sports, All Plays. Also, help us run some of our entity and then like our websites, update some stuff on our website and stuff like that. If you like the shows on the All Sports, All Plays Network, come and support us. Send us some stars here on the Facebook. Go to our Facebook and you can click on the stars there. If you send 200 stars, we'll pin up your comments up on the show today so that everybody can see it there. We're in a rolling of trying to get 1 million stars here on the All Sports, All Plays Network. Continue on supporting us. If you want to support us, just send us some stars on our Facebook. Get that right and going here. Today we're going to be talking about some stuff, stuff that went on here on Friday. I got to give some shout outs to the Wolfpack team beat the Tar Heels yesterday in double overtime. Missed field goal tried by North Carolina Tar Heels to try to tie back up. In overtime, failed miserably, but sometimes you have the win and draws here. So you give congratulations out to the Wolfpack. Also, some good news for the Wolfpack too. There, it looked like Dorison might be staying at North Carolina State because Wisconsin is looking at hiring their interim coach Leonard as a full-time head coach for next season. There's some rumors going around there. We'll be talking about it here later on with my co-host Jerry when he comes into the show. We got a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about here. Let me go ahead and put some of the scores. Let's run the scores from Tuesday nights all the way to Friday night. You see them down here at the bottom of the screen. You see it strolling right there. I have all the scores in for the college football that happened all week long, the holiday season. Got some NFL action on the Thursday, Thanksgiving. We had one Thursday night football, Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin has been in talks. Name's been coming up again in Auburn. He said in his press conference that most likely he'll be back at Ole Miss. So we'll see how that goes. I would like to see, personally, for Auburn, I would like to give Cadillac Williams a chance to be the full-time head coach. He was inspiring on the sideline for Auburn. For the few games that he took over as the interim coach, I like to see him get hired there. Also, there's been some rumors that Deion Sanders' name has been up in Colorado. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see if he stays at Jackson State. I like to see him stay at Jackson State, try to build up the HBUs up to a powerhouse league conference there, and try to draw some more interest there and try to get that build up. I like to see that happen. Also, Georgia Tech head coach, we don't know if they're going to keep their interim coach. He has done pretty good for Georgia Tech. We'll see how that goes out today when we break down the Georgia Tech game here in just a few minutes. So there's a bunch of carousels going on here coming up. We still got the Auburn job. We don't know. Nebraska is now. Let's talk about Nebraska here. Nebraska has looked like Matt Rule will be the next head coach at Nebraska. They're working out some details right now with his contract with the Carolina Panthers, how they can maneuver his contract with Nebraska. Matt Rule is a better college coach than he is a NFL coach. He's a good program setter for the college football. Look what he did at Baylor. Look what he did, at his previous jobs in college. I think this could be a good hire. Nebraska could be more disciplined team. He's a great recruiter. So I think that's a great hire there for Matt Rule, from the former coach of the Carolina Panthers, Baylor, and Temple. He's more fit to return to the sideline as this thing here. Oh, we got to break it down, ladies and gentlemen. We have to break it down here on the All Sports All Plays Network. Let's please welcome the man, the myth, the legend of all podcasts. He is the Who to Blame podcast co-host, the man with the most style hair in podcast history. That's why I got my hair growing out for him. 26 days of growth right here from the first. So let's bring my boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Dre Montez. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Happy holidays to you, my man. Hope you had a good turkey day. We did something different. We didn't cook a traditional turkey. We went out to Cracker Barrel and got them to cook for us. You went vegan? You had a vegan turkey? What?
I had a vegan turkey. I didn't even have a turkey this year. I usually have a turkey leg every Thanksgiving. I've broken my tradition. I had a country fried steak with I had meatloaf. Sorry, I had meatloaf. My wife had the country fried steak with some white gravy on it. So we broke the whole tradition. We took the family. We decided they didn't want to cook this year, so we went to Cracker Barrel. So we kind of cheated.
My Thanksgiving was definitely it was entertaining for sure. I've asked my mom, dad, my sister, my G-Ma, my best friend for 40 years, who's my brother, my nephew, my son, and my grandkids. It was a good time, but it was at some point I thought I was being punked. I thought I was on a TV show or a reality show or trying to get on TMZ. But we got through the moment. I got through the day. It was a different way I normally would do my Thanksgiving, but I'm glad I did it the way I did it. It was still fun and good food. And as a single man that lives alone, I got enough food for the week. That was the whole key. I'm not cooking nothing this week, Ray. I'm not cooking nothing this week. Nothing. I have enough food for the whole week.
Yeah, that's the only thing I miss, because Thanksgiving you get leftovers and you have leftovers for a couple of days, a whole week, So I mean, you worked out on yours. I changed our tradition a little bit, but interesting rumor going around now is Nebraska is set to hire Matt Rule once they get the contract worked out through his North Carolina Panthers contract. They're trying to work out the details there. Is this a good hire for Nebraska?
I know Matt Rule is really in the minds of collegiate football. He should have stayed there due to the communication and the knowledge of the game. The NFL is a whole different page. It's not just about the money aspect, it's the mentality. And I think that his coaching style fits more collegiate and high school than it does pro. I'm not sure that the Nebraska place is the right place for him. I need to hear more information. It's like in a relationship right now. People want to know what you bring to the fucking table. What are you bringing to the table? Boo-boo. I need to hear that from Matt Rule. What are you bringing to the table? Can you recruit? Can you spot talent? Can you improve the program based on the players that are there? And how long is it going to take for you to get your style and play if you're dealing with other people's kids? So I have so many questions. So when you hire somebody like this, there has to be mitigating factors here that Nebraska feel is like advantageous to them.
Yeah, I agree with. Yeah, I agree with you too. I don't know exactly what he's going to bring, but I know that he has started some programs back in the right direction, like in Baylor and at Temple. So I mean, that's something that they're looking at too. That he's a stepping stone to build a great program there.
Right.
Try to build a program. I think that's what they're looking at because when they hired Scott Frost, he didn't do anything there. He didn't
do diddly poo.
And then the interim coach, he's won some games, but he hasn't set his name into a stone there. Not like the Wisconsin interim coach at Leonard. Leonard has a chance to go 5-2 since the coaching change of Paul Chryst, at Wisconsin. So that might help NC State fans a little bit because Dorson's name was thrown out in this coaching search. But right now they had Iowa State, Matt Campbell in there, but Leonard seemed likely they're going to probably hire him because of the way he has done. So what is your thought on Wisconsin right now? Can Leonard be the full-time coach after what his debuts after 7 games?
I mean, he was in-house, so he has a relationship with the players. It's not like he was an outside source. So he has that connection, that communication piece that's real key in coaching. If the players can't relate and the coaches can't relate to the players, it's not going to work. And this thing seems to be working. So I would keep him if I was them. I would keep him.
Yeah, I understand. That's a good thing, too. I would keep him, too, because he's got that program rolling right now. This could be a momentum setting for Wisconsin if they can win out and then go to a bowl game and then win to keep winning all the way out for him. That could get the momentum going for the all season. And go out and see how he recruits this coming up season. See if they can bring that Wisconsin team back up to a standard that need to be. Because, I mean, they got a good stadium in Camp Randall, a good atmosphere up there. So, I mean, the recruiting should come. But how many years will it take him to get that program back up to a point where they're competing with Ohio State, Michigan, in the Big Ten?
See, that's the thing. When coaches get their job in collegiate or even NFL, anytime a coach gets a job, it's a package deal. If I can't have these other guys with me, it's not going to work. Now, if you just hired me and you're going to wait 2 years so I can bring my own staff on, that's a different story. It's all about what the contract details because you can't do it alone. There's not one coach that can do anything by themselves. They need these other coaches with them as well. So if he's able to bring in his guys, I give it 4 years. I give it 4 years. Because if we start here and then possibly next year, that's still not his guys, but the year after that, now he got his whole crew in there. So we're 2.5 years out from seeing what a coach can do with his recruits and with his coaches. So that's where we stand right now. When coaches get a job, they're not always bringing in everything they need. Now, the big-time guys coming from a Power 5 conference, of course, they're coming in with their whole crew. And then when it doesn't work, Jimbo, people want to know why. Yeah, but that's a great question, Wade. That is definitely a great question right there.
Now, you mentioned the SEC, Auburn. 2 names that have been likely mentioned was Lane Kiffin and Hughes Freeze. To me, I think they should give Cadillac Williams a chance. I mean, the way he expired, even almost tore his hamstring on being a coach on the sideline, the way he runs up and down the sideline. I think he has great energy for the program, but I think they're looking for a huge name, big splash. Mention of Hughes Freeze has been in this. Lane Kiffin has rumored saying that he wants to go back to Ole Miss, but his name's been linked to the Auburn job. Is Lane Kiffin just throwing hot air smoke? Is he going to make a lateral move to Auburn?
See, that's the thing in the SEC. When you shift to another school in the SEC, leaving the SEC, and going to another school, that's conduct detrimental to the team. and the way Lane Kiffin's son has been acting, especially with the fire extinguisher, blowing smoke, LOL. I mean, it makes common sense for them to go that way. And he has the power and the control to bring everybody with him when he leaves. But the only thing is hurting what he did in recruiting. It hurts that. But here's the fun thing about the transfer portal. We can go over there. We can go with you too, Coach. So that is another term of the mitigating factor that helps Lane Kiffin right there in that situation. Is this a right hire, right fit, a right go-to at this moment in the situation? The way the television contract is going, the way NIL is going, the way the shift is going in the SEC. This could be a good move for him if the story is true. Because they're still pitching Deion. Whether anybody believes it or not, they're still pitching Deion. But Deion's whole deal is, what about my coaches? That's the whole thing. It's not about the I, it's about the us in the recruitment of college coaches. Let that sink in for a moment.
Yeah, I like the way Deion talks. Deion talks, it's not about him, it's not about the coaches, it's about the players themselves. And the way the way he's got that old mill machine, the way he describes his program is, I think, is kind of awesome. He's got the kids dressing up, looking professional, not baggy pants, not all this stuff, glamour and stuff like that. He's teaching them on business side, plus the football side, trying to get them prepared for business, prepared for life. I think that's the kind of key that I like to see in a head coach himself. And him taking all of his coaches, I applaud him for that. I mean, that's his coaches, that's his staff. That's the way it's working for him at Jackson State. Why not bring his whole staff with him?
I mean, at some point, I don't think Deion is the only one doing it, but I love the way they're emphasizing it out there. They're showing the responsibility of man outside of sports. At some point, the applause, the lights, the glamour, the big man on campus, all that stuff ends. So you have to have what our grandparents used to tell us back in the day. What's your backup plan, boy? He's giving you that opportunity up front. And when you have that up front, when a lot of people just think the only way I can make it is by playing sports, but somebody shows you a different way first. There's sports, but when they show you a different way, other than sports, on how to be successful and how to be you and how to make a living and how to carry on, it makes a lot of sense to me. And the way Deion is doing it is really, really good. But again, he's not the only one doing it. But I love the way that they're emphasizing what Deion has been doing at Jackson State University, because that's real important. When a kid sees a reflection of them on television and they say to themselves, if they or he or she can do that, there's no telling what I can do. And I love that message right now. That is really true. When you see yourself or a version of yourself on television, it's remarkable. It's remarkable. It's impressive. And I love what they're doing, man. College football has done a great job this year in showing the opportunities that are available for you, no matter what your background is, no matter what your character is. They're showing you it is still possible for the opportunity to happen. I love that.
Yeah, I look at that same situation too, but his name has also been mentioned out here in Colorado too. Colorado University. I
don't see that one coming. But I like the idea. I like the presentation. I think Jeff Saturday, NFL hire, has made a lot of programs look internally at their alumni that had success in the NFL and that had good character, maybe bringing some of those people back into the program, into the focal point. I think Colorado should do that. I really do.
Yeah, if Colorado does that, then who would they? Names have been, I mentioned out there, has been Bronco Mendenhall, the BYU Virginia coach, Tom Herman, the Texas Houston coach, Deion Sanders, the Jackson State coach, Sacramento State coach, Troy Taylor, North Dakota State, Matt Ings.
What about some of these high school coaches that are putting some of these great programs together? I think they're getting a lot of recognition, but they're coming in as like a position coach, but their skill set, their communication skill, and the fact with NIL and the television network thing, I think all that can come together. You got some of these coaches that can bring 5 to 10 players with them.
Yeah, like the IMG Academy coach here
There it
in
is.
Florida. I mean,
Mhm.
if they go and pick him, he'd go to a program. He's already got a stable farm team down in high school that he can go right back to ING Academy and say, "Hey, look, guys, you played for
Chris
me
Winkie.
here. Yeah, you
Give me
played for me
Chris
here."
Winkie. Give me him. He is the prodigal son when it comes to production and recognizing talent to get to that collegiate level. If you can recognize talent, why can't we extend that and take it further? But sometimes I don't want to make you get a job you don't want. Stay where you're at. Stay comfortable. You're funny to us. You're not funny to Hollywood. I want to keep your funny here. So a lot of coaches, I feel you on that. Like here locally in St. Louis, we got some powerful high school programs here with coaches that I think should be in the conversation of a collegiate contract deal, whether it's D3, D2, D1, Power 5, whatever you want to put it. But I think the college and the high school coach conversation, hiring vacancy, needs to be really talked about.
And if you see that, then how about if some of these coaches don't want to go to college? Maybe some of these coaches are happy being high school coaches too.
That's what I'm saying. We always want to push like, well, I think this would be a great hire. He should go here. He should go here. He should be a head coach. He should be a GM. He should own the team. What if they're comfortable where they're at?
Yeah.
There's a lot of coaches that are like that.
Yeah, you see some of them coaches in high school, they're more comfortable just teaching kids at that level. And, that's some reason that you see some of these good programs because they got continuity. And college coaches here, you start out a program, you got this thing working. Why don't you stay and build it up? Instead of going out and looking for that big splash hire. And sometimes it's not even an effective way to do it because look at Scott Frost. He had a good thing going at UCF. And then all of a sudden he leaves UCF and now he's out of job.
The weather, the women, the program, the money,
tax-free,
the budget. Why? Why? It's like dating a cray-cray.
I mean,
I understand why you do it, but nobody can explain it. Nobody can.
I understand that because he is a Nebraska guy, but sometimes you go back to your home school, you're not that good.
Everything doesn't end like a Hallmark Channel movie or a Lifetime movie. Going back to meet Becky and Todd is not always a good damn thing. And that's what happened to Scott Frost. Should have never done it. I think now he got to start from ground zero. Private high school.
Yeah. I have to go back to the high school level.
Or I would go into television. Look at Fox College Game Day. All of those dudes failed, got in trouble, but they killing it with their college football game show, Fox News.
Yeah, he could do what Hugh Freeze did. Go back to a smaller school. I mean, he has some success at the smaller school than he does at the big school. So, my question is, is Hugh Freeze ready to come back into a major Power 5 conference like the SEC? Because his name's been mentioned at Auburn too.
See, that's the thing. We just talked about that. I think he should stay where he's at. He's doing a great job there. Everybody knows who he is. All the dads, all the moms, maybe the uncles, a few cousins. He's a household name based on what he did in the past and what he did to get over that. And when you hear a story like that, what better way to challenge your child? I think that coach right there is the right one for you, son. Right.
We have some other coaches and rumors that are going around West Virginia. Probably going to end up looking for a new coach. Stanford might end up firing David Shaw. Eric could be ending there. The one that we talked about at the beginning of the year here on the College Breakdown Show was Dino Barbers. We said he came off the hot seat. Now he's back on the hot seat. Today, if he loses to Boston College, he could be out. Syracuse could drop to 6-6. Started 6-0, could finish 6-6.
That is not. There's more to that story. There has to be. There's no way we're 6-0 and we're sitting at 6-6. There's no way. There is more to the story than that.
Well, I mean, his starting quarterback did get injured. The turnaround for them started losing was when they lost at Clemson. They haven't won since.
In sports, injuries are part of the game. That's why it's called preparation. Dating in high school, she's going to cheat on you, so get ready for it. It's all about the laws of life and understanding. I can't use injuries as an excuse. If you just think there's one guy going to be healthy the whole year, coach, you're wrong. You got to have a backup plan. You started out 6-0, and now with the verge of you losing your job, I bet his wife has not cooked dinner and looked at him in the face when she gave him the plate.
I mean, if you look at it this way, I mean, they have lost their past 4 games by 10 or more points. Barbers hasn't had a winning season since 2018.
It's like Markel Fulk, the NBA player, who's the number 1 draft pick a few years ago, and he forgot how to shoot the ball. Nobody talks about how did that happen. I still think over Thanksgiving weekend, over the draft weekend, he got into a fight and hurt his arm, but nobody talks about it. I think there's more going on with that program than anybody's talking about. There's no way you're going 6-0 and now at this point. Just beyond injuries. Communication.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, you look at here and the stuff. I mean, Navy.
That's some in-house shit going on.
At Navy, is Ken Niedermeyer, is he going to be out after this season? I mean,
no.
The last few seasons, they just going to run with him and his philosophy. He has to change a little bit of his philosophy. I mean, I understand the cadets and the unique of the military academies got to have they're more of a conditioned running style type teams, but he has to go out and find somebody who can at least pass the ball a little bit, because I mean the philosophy is teams are starting to catch up to the Navy philosophy.
Other than the Notre Dame game. Yeah. Other than that Notre Dame game, they stepped outside of the box. Now, last week, they didn't throw not one pass. Not one pass. So I feel you on that. But when you with a service school, what is the objectivity of the sports programs? How do you want me to recruit?
Well,
because
can't
we're recruiting for the service first. We're recruiting for the service first because they do have an obligation to do when going to the service school. So it's kind of a conflicting story in detail when a gifted athlete goes to a service school.
Yeah, but also the service schools has different criteria than any other colleges out there. You have to get a letter from your congressman to give you the recommendation to get in. They just can't go out and recruit a football player and say, hey, come to the service academy. But first you need to go and get your congressman to write you a letter stating that you were able to come to the academy. That's the unique part of it, because most school has the SAT. They still have the SAT scores, but they have to present that to their congressman and we'll get a referral either from a congressman, a general, admiral, a letter from the president of the United States to get them into the service academy itself. That's one of the criteria and rules to get in. But I mean, if you look at it too, that's one hindrance that you can't really see coming is the people that want to go into service, because when you leave, you got to have at least 2 years of commitment to the service before you can go to the next level.
David Robinson. Yep.
I mean,
happened to Fuji, kid from U City. But it happened. But here's the thing: to get into service school, as Ray just said, the letter from a congressman, Your mama and grandmama got to do some foul shit. If you look at some of these kids, I'm looking at some of these kids. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get this straight. If you look at the service academies, what they got to go through to get in, man, look here. A whole lot needs to change, and it should change. If we want better production out of the service programs when it comes to sporting, that needs to change.
Yeah.
Big time.
I mean, we got some of the housekeeping up. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to break down the number 1 Georgia versus Georgia Tech, number 2 Ohio State, number 3 Michigan, and South Carolina, and number 8 Clemson. We'll break those down games to you when we come back on the All Sports All Place Network. I am Ray. This is Dre. We'll be back after these messages.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making a plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Place Network. I am Ray. This is Dre. And we forgot to mention one thing. We're going to bring it up real quick here. Do you agree or disagree with the college playoffs ranking that was released on Tuesday evening? Do they have it right now?
I think it was the 5 and the 7 I had a problem with. But I think they got the top 4 right, which is the most important.
But you have a problem with LSU at number 5 and number 7 Alabama?
Yeah, I that was weird. Why is Bama still there?
Because they're trying to hope these teams will lose today so they can have a reason to slide them right back in. But the problem we're going to have with that is, what I situated is, if Clemson runs the table today, blow out South Carolina, who blew out Tennessee.
Then the hell out of Tennessee.
And then Clemson needs to go and win and destroy North Carolina in the ACC title game. But the question is, we know the conference playoff committee says that they value championships of the conference. How much will they evaluate if Clemson destroys the next 2 opponents, South Carolina today and North Carolina in the championship game of the ACC? How much will they value the ACC title?
Well, Clemson lost a shot to have an actual voice when they lost. This is just going to get hand clapping. That's about it. I don't think it's a big voice moment. They missed that opportunity when they lost. And I know the ACC is trying to stand up and be proud and all of this, but the opportunity was missed. You had that window of opportunity and you missed it big time. Big time.
I mean, if you look at where you're sitting right now, 7 and number 8, Alabama and Clemson sitting right there on your doorstep. I mean, what it's going to have to take is LSU's going to win out their season, close out the season, and then go to the SEC championship and hopefully beat Georgia. Because if LSU takes another loss, either in the championship game or stumble here, they're going to be totally out. So that's going to move. Yeah. That's going to move USC. If USC can go out and beat Notre Dame today, that moves USC into that number 5 spot. But if TCU closes out, well, we know the number 2 and number 3 are going to play each other today. So we don't know how that's going to evaluate Michigan if Michigan ends up losing or if Ohio State ends up losing. But we're going to break that game down here in a minute. We'll talk about that.
I think UCLA winning last night really opened a couple of eyes to look at that USC Notre Dame game even more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people saying because that number's they're sitting right at number 6. It's sitting in the doorstep. They got to win today. They got to win the Pac-12 championship game, and they could be sitting right there with TCU, if Michigan or Ohio State, whatever the one that loses if they don't make it up in there. But then again, how do you evaluate Ohio State and Michigan because they're playing number 2 and number 3?
Ohio State and Michigan this could be the first time that a Michigan quarterback goes into the
horseshoe
Ohio State's confines and wins a game.
Yeah, since 2000.
Since 2000, the last time Michigan quarterback won a game at the Ohio State University. I do believe that. So he could change the whole trajectory of this situation here. But I don't think this game is as big as we think it is. It all depends on what happens, the way Georgia wins, and what happens with TCU.
Yeah, that's a thing too. But I mean,
that has a lot to do because if it's going to be 38-14 last year, whatever it was, the way Michigan beat the shit out of them last year, I don't think it's going to be of that magnitude. But if Michigan wins this game in Captain Khaki Pants, it could shift. But it'd be a bigger ordeal if the Ohio State University wins. It'd be a bigger deal.
Today is going to shape up a lot of questions because Tuesday comes around, be one more committee picks the rankings, set up a rankings for that, and then going into the championship weekend next weekend. The ACC championship, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, the Big 12, and the SEC, all playing their championship game too. And then you got the big old rivalry that we like, the Army-Navy game coming up too. So that's going to be big for us, for the service guys, because we always say, go Navy, beat Army, So that's always, even though the records don't show it, that always been a good game, and it draws a lot of viewers for that too, for the pride of the service,
Beef up my OnlyFans page.
But we'll break that game down next week too. So I might bring some of my Navy stuff in here, Be proud and I can't find mine.
I might put my bag on my back and do a military cadence.
Yeah, I mean, I have the bell bottom ones, but I can't find them. So.
I got a wooden pick here.
I see that.
No, it's wood, made out of wood.
Wow.
Handmade.
You made that yourself?
No, it was a birthday gift.
Oh, that's cool.
By my friend Linda and her daughter, Jax. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our college breakdown segment of the show, what people like to see. We're going to do some housekeeping here. First on that, do you want to see what you did last week?
Show it to me.
You actually won last week, 43-13, and I had 35-21. But you actually beat me last week for the second time during the whole season.
I think third time.
But your overall is 441-242. Mine is 471-212.
It still doesn't look good.
Your good week and you still haven't. You gained some ground. I mean, you're back within what 30 wins. maybe you can win some. Maybe you win some today here.
Can I get the applause from the sound effects machine? Can I get the applause, please? Can I get the round of applause?
Dre needs to make his acceptance speech. Go ahead, Dre.
I, Dre Montez, would like to thank all the supporting people that were here to get me through last week's game picks. Thank you all, especially my mom and dad. I appreciate you all for being there for me at this time. Thank you, Dre Montez.
All right, Mr. Dre, there you go. I'll put you on the big screen there. You were big front and center on that one, on your acceptance speech. We have 47 games left to play today. 47. We had a lot of games played on Friday. You'll see the scores going down the bottom here from Tuesday all the way down to Friday's game. Yeah, all there. So, Mr. Dre, we're going to go down. We're going to start with the number one team in the nation, Georgia and Georgia Tech. What is your thought on this game today? We know that Georgia Tech came in and beat North Carolina last week, was a makeshift quarterback with a third or fourth string quarterback with a running quarterback. Back then, when they got into the red zone, they kept them off balance. How do Georgia Tech compete with the likes of number one Georgia of the SEC today?
Where's this game being played at?
This game is played at Georgia.
So it's in Athens, Georgia.
Yep.
So Georgia Tech cannot
hedges.
compete with Georgia. They cannot compete with them at all today. They're not on their level. But here's the thing that Georgia does not get caught up in, their own hypeness. If they get caught up in their own hypeness, this could be an awful game. If Stetson Bennett is playing in the third quarter, something's wrong. Something's wrong. We know what the defense can do. We know what Georgia defense can do. We know what the running game can do. But show me that passing game.
Now my question is,
passing game. That's my thing.
My question is, does Georgia really have to pass if the running game going? If that running game going, I wouldn't mind seeing a running game all game long until they actually stop it. That means, hey, look, that means you can go back to seeing a Navy style type game with a out of power eye. Different running sets. So, I mean, do they really need to put Stetson Bennett in harm's way? Georgia Tech still got a good pass rush. I mean, they still got some good players that can get in there. They sacked the quarterback last week 6 times. So, I mean.
That's the thing. If I'm Georgia Tech's coach, defensive coach, position coach, our only job is to stop the run. If we stop the run, we know we got a good pass defense, as you just indicated. But if we stop the run, if we put them at a 2nd and 8, in a 3rd and 6 and more, we're doing our job in the first half. Now they got to throw the ball. When the last time has Georgia really won a game relying on the arm of Stetson Bennett? I will wait for that. It's been a long time. It's been the defense and running game and the special teams. But Georgia has not been challenged at throwing the ball. And I'm a big fan of Uga. My homie Cassie Joe, that's her team. That's her squad. I get it. But I want to see this kid challenged. I want to see it. Show me. Show me Georgia winning the game by him throwing the ball. Other than running back you and that phenomenal defense.
Now, if we see Georgia do that, Georgia Tech will have to throw a 8-man in the box, try to stop the run, give them the chance to do one-on-one. But if Georgia can run with their Georgia taking that 8-man front and they still get good running position, I mean, they really don't have to challenge them with the pass. And, I mean, there'll be a lot of play-action pass in there and a lot of deep threats and deep runs. How do you see the Georgia Tech Ramblin' Wreck to solidify their offense against the Georgia defense, who's only averaging 11 points on a game?
If I was Georgia Tech, I'm not talking to my offense at all. This game is all about the defense. If the defense does its job, Georgia Tech defense, I would have practiced all week just the defense. The offense, we good. This is not about you today. This is not about you today. If the defense does its job, Georgia Tech has a chance. But Georgia exposed us to capabilities and what they have. They have a 4 running back arsenal. 4. And that is, you can't prepare for 4 different running styles. You can't. That right there is a situation and a thing that coaches and players still scratch their head on. Georgia has that capability with the running game. They are running back you for the next 10 years, I said. But if Georgia Tech installed that in the first half, that switches, I say the first quarter. If Georgia has less than 100 yards in the first quarter, it's going to change. The whole game plan changes. Now you got to throw the ball.
Anthony Price come on and said Georgia Tech hasn't beat a ranked team. They beat North Carolina, which North Carolina's not. I mean, is in a little.
I don't think Georgia Tech's going to win. I'm just saying, if those things happen right there and they understand the plausibility and the situation, it could work out for them. If they're able to stop the run, if they can stop the run and make Georgia throw the ball.
In your opinion, how many times do you think that Georgia Tech can turn Georgia over to get short field? Because they're going to need a lot of short field in this ball game to get their score. They're not going to be able to drive on Georgia from the 25 to the red zone. So
Georgia's defense is the Iron Curtain. We all know that. Everybody knows that. You can't wear them down. They don't get tired. Their substitution is incredible, the way they substitute. So that can't be the challenge in play. This game has to be on Georgia Tech's defense. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, to your philosophy is that Georgia Tech's offense has to run the ball effectively and take time of possession in this ball game to keep that Georgia offense off the field. But then again, that Iron Curtain defense they got, Georgia Tech needs to take what Georgia gives them on the defensive side.
Boom.
Most teams don't do that.
If I'm Georgia Tech and I'm on offense, I'm hiking the ball with 2 seconds left on the play clock every time we get the ball. Every time we get the ball. That is the term. I'm telling my center right now. I'm telling the whole offensive line, 2 seconds we hiking the ball. I'm taking every time we can get, we're going to take that away from them. That I will do that. The timing. And I will also emphasize to my punter kicking the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, you don't want to give Georgia anything, and especially McConkey back there returning punts. He's a good punt returner.
Yeah,
and a good. Yeah, so I mean, you got to keep the special teams at bay too for Georgia. I mean, Georgia is explosive in every part of the game plan here. But for Georgia Tech defense, they have to keep Georgia out of the end zone, make Georgia settle for field goals. Hopefully, that will help them out in this ball game. But now on the other end, if you can't run the ball and you become one-dimensional, that means Georgia's going to have a bone back there to chew on with the quarterback. You can pin your ears, come after him. He's going to be under pressure all game long. And we're sitting, on their 4th-string quarterback right now?
Right.
So, I mean.
Again, I'm not saying Georgia Tech has a shot in hell to beat Georgia. I'm saying if I was a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket fan, Bobby Ross alum, I would be preaching those facts right there to my defense. That's what I would. But Georgia's going to beat the living shit out of them.
If you look at this, I mean, the offensive numbers here, 496.3 total offense to 332.5 total offense. Their defense, total defense given up for Georgia Tech is 401.1 to 189.0 for Georgia. 272.1 for Georgia, total defense. That's just astronomical because Georgia's only giving up 83.1 yards rushing, but they're giving up 189 yards passing.
I'm thinking about placing a bet today that Georgia would keep Georgia Tech up under 75 yards in rushing. I'm thinking about placing that bet today.
We're looking at it. You like the over and under and the point spread here. Georgia's favored by Georgia's favored by 36 points, and the over and under is 49. Do you see Georgia putting? Do you see Georgia putting 63 on them?
No, not at all. But I like that 36 though.
36-point favorite. Are you gonna take Georgia?
Bookie on speed down.
Are you gonna take Georgia Tech in the 36?
No. No, that's scary. No. Because Georgia has not really put up the points on anybody. They really haven't. So if they have their way here, it could get out of hand.
I mean, they're averaging 38.4 a game on offense for scoring, and then Georgia Tech's only averaging 17.5 total points on the offense.
Shit, that's only what? 21 points? So no. That 36 does not look pleasing.
Nope. So I mean, this could be always the first for everything. Georgia could come out and make a statement and be up 35-0 before halftime.
My only fan page could really blow up today. Then, gotcha.
I see it this way. I see Georgia's defense picking the ball off, maybe return 1 or 2 for a touchdown.
Pick sixes, they call them.
Yeah, I can see that. Or I can see him, quarterback back there, getting ready to throw the ball, and they sacking them and strip fumbling. So I mean, today Georgia Tech's got to be on the best. They got to be on point. They got to have a perfect game. No minimal mistakes. But we know when they go up to Athens, the crowd is so loud. How many false starts are you going to see in this ball game today for Georgia Tech?
5.
So I mean,
it's only loud in the red zone. It's only loud in the red zone at Athens, Georgia. It's only loud down there in the red zone, which is good. It's not a bad thing. But that's me saying that I don't think Georgia Tech is going to get in the red zone that much to affect the mobility of the offense. Because that Georgia defense, that is sexy to watch. I'm telling you. That's like sports porn to me, watching Georgia defense.
Does Georgia Tech have any way to stop Brock Bowers, the super tight end for Georgia, the one that could go out and catch the ball, run reverses? How many reverses will we see today with Brock Bowers? Will we see to start off the game with one?
I see 2, and it reminds me of the former New York Football Giant tight end, Mark Bavaro. That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me, he got good hip action because he has a high ass. If you have a high ass or a wide ass, you're going to be good on the line with a defensive offense or tight end. So take that into notes, kids. If you have a high ass or a wide ass and you're trying to play football, take heed to what you're good in. And he knows how to use that high hip and that ass very good. He puts the defender on his hip, then he'll switch you in any minute. Watch his replays, man. This dude reminds me of Mark Bavaro in more ways than one.
And Price said, I took Ty Ever. And then he says, I took the over for the Alabama game. And he says, we're going to see 4 or 6 screenplays and 2 for a touchdown.
Ooh, good call. I like the odds right there. Coming in hot.
And we know the matchup is like 98.7% says Georgia will win. Only 1.3% says Georgia Tech. That's part of the Georgia Tech fan base voting there.
Good call. I like that, Anthony. Hey, Anthony.
So, yes, let's welcome Anthony Price. He's doing some comments. If you want to comment, you go to either our YouTube, our Twitch, or Facebook. You can comment there. We will get the comments. We'll post them up like we do. Anthony Price there. I will take you some of your questions on there too. So, my friend, we both got Georgia winning this ball game, though.
Oh, yeah. I got a shout out again for my homie Cassie Joe. She's a huge UGA fan. That's her squad, man. Have you ever watched college football with a woman other than your wife?
No.
You been around women that watch college football?
I've been some to try to watch college football and then keep asking me questions every 5 minutes. What kind of play is that? Why are they doing this? What's that yellow thing on the field?
Oh, my God. No, I'm not talking about the novice sports. I'm talking about the female fan base that gets it. I mean, they're passionate. The female fan base know things that we don't talk about at all.
Yeah, I had one. What was it? I went to a game watch at one of the restaurants here, and a woman started talking about something that somebody said something on one of the other games that you're watching, and then she's like, "Well, look at that. They tearing their uniforms up, and they ain't making good sewing. And look at this string." And she was like telling about the seams and the things like double stitched. She says, "Watch this. This guy gonna pull the shirt. It's gonna come straight off."
Your female voice is amazing.
And then sure enough, I looked over there, and there was a guy running, and the jersey was tearing as he was trying to pull him down. She said, if it was double stitch, he would never get pulled down like that. I'm like, whatever.
It's like here in St. Louis, the female baseball fans and hockey fans are more knowledgeable than the male counterparts. I'm telling you, true story. They know things that we don't even talk about or discuss, but they see and know about.
And Anthony says, "You're trying to get Ray in trouble." Laughing out loud. My current wife here, she knows a little bit about sports. I mean, she watches Florida State and stuff.
My current wife.
Hey, she knows. She knows I love her.
I swear, Ray, you crack me up. I swear.
Hey, man, that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to make you laugh. I make y'all here to feel good. You know,
man. That's what
you got all that turkey. You got all that turkey in your. You got all that turkey in your stomach. You probably haven't laughed in probably a couple of days since you coming out of that food coma and stuff like that. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make you have a good time and laugh.
I laughed so much on Thanksgiving, it's not even funny. I really laughed when I got home because I could not believe what happened in my day.
Oh, we'll have to discuss that soon and later here.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
All right, my friend. Let's move to the big game on the docket today. The number two Ohio State hosting the number 3 Michigan Wolverines. And Corum has said that he wants to play today. So the question is, if Corum is a little bit healthier than what we believe, how will he present a problem for the Ohio State Buckeyes defense today?
That's the running back for Michigan, right?
That is correct.
So that clearly shows me he plans on working for State Farm after college football All-State Insurance are going to Enterprise rental cars, which is not a bad deal. They have a great management program, because he's not serious about playing on Sundays. There's no way after that injury that he sustained last week, that kid should be playing today. There's no way possible. Maybe that's a threat to alter the defensive scheme and the play situation and the game plan for the Ohio State. But I don't see the swag coming in. If the running game is not applicable for Michigan, they may get shut out today. But that running game must be key. And if he's not 100%, I don't need 95, 87, 85, 38. If he's not 100%, it's not going to work. So I'm not going to risk it. Not going to risk it. I don't believe in the strategy. Maybe it's a misguided strategy derived from the books of 1960s and 1970s college football, the threat of the intimidation. Maybe it's that. But I don't see it. If he's not 100%, why do it? No.
Well, we know how Michigan beat Ohio State last year, 42-27 behind the great defense of Hutchinson and that Michigan defense.
Yes.
How good is this Michigan defense now without Hutchinson there? Can they capability of turning what they did last year at Ann Arbor to this year against the Ohio State? I know it's a different team. I know you're back there, getting you frustrated by what I just said. But anyway.
No, not at all.
But anyway, how good is this Michigan defense now? Is it the same or is it step down? Do they have enough manpower to create pressure against CJ Stroud? And then how does, Ryan Day came out, this is a quote straight from Ryan Day. When you lose this game, it's a tough year. How do they swallow that 42-27? Did they come out and man up? Can we see a beat down today, or are we going to see a great football game all the way through the fourth quarter?
The fact you said swallow and beat down on the Saturday, I love it. And the fact it's the Ohio State and Michigan is even better. But that's the thing. I would challenge my team and as players, when you come into a challenging moment, how to be part of history, be part of the conversation, be part of the legacy to get over the hump. That's different on both sides. If you're Michigan, you want to recreate the moment from last year. You want to prove to everybody, the naysayers, the nation, the doubters, the boosters, are we better than that team? That guy went to the NFL and is playing for the Detroit Lions. How can we be better than that team? How can we be better than what they did last year? On the other side, you got the Ohio State, who clearly feels like last year they should have won that game. And then they have the man, the dude, can you say it with me? Marvin Harrison Jr. How you stop him? How? Everybody knows he's going to get what? The ball.
Mm-hmm.
The ball. I think it's more of a challenging factor for the Ohio State to prove they should have won the game last year. Not even close to Michigan trying to have the defense they had last year. I think that's unfair to the kids that are coming into college. When you have to come into a program and they challenge you on being better than the team previous to you, that's a challenge more in itself. That's a mental. Can you imagine that? If they're showing you this is what that defense did last year, can we be better? Oh, my God. Oh. Whether it's the game, the scenario, or you break it down to what they call, what's the new word now? Analytics. Break it down to its purest form. It's still a challenging moment for the kids. Is the pressure more on Ohio State or Michigan? I think it's more Michigan than the Ohio State University.
Yeah.
I think for the first time, the Ohio State is prepared for this moment right now. And I'm not a fan of either program, but I'm a fan of college football.
Yeah. And one of our listener, Anthony Price here, he says official Matt Rule has got the head coaching job at Nebraska. So,
son of a bitch.
Nebraska's off the board with Matt Rule taking over that program. So we'll see how that program goes. Also, Anthony Price came out. Do you think when Stroud beats Michigan, he's the clear winner for the Heisman Trophy? My opinion,
I think less than 200 yards passing and one touchdown. No. If the defense wins the game, no. But if it's his offensive effort and his quarterback skill set and understanding the moment and the time of the game, situational performance, yeah, he can get it. But if it's a statistical challenge, hell no. No.
So,
No.
in your opinion, when you say it's statistical challenge, what numbers do you need him to get to be, in your opinion, that Heisman Trophy front
Over
runner?
300 yards passing and over 2 touchdowns. Running at least 50 yards, at least.
Now, if he throws one pick, that would be okay? If he throws two, no okay?
No. Now, he throws the pick, but if it's a pass deflection or if it's the receiver fault, the tight end or the running back, but if he throws the interception and it's clearly his fault, no. But we need more than one touchdown, more than 200 yards pass, more than 250 yards passing. Because I like the kid from Kentucky. I like him. He's like a Josh Allen.
Oh, Levis?
Moxie.
Talking about Levis?
He has moxie. He has sex appeal. It's going to be somebody today. Well, I say Tuesday. No, you know what? I'll say tonight or Monday. There's going to be a new front runner for the face of the Heisman Trophy. Watch.
All right.
So last weekend was the last weekend to shine. I think now, since everybody's home, everybody paying attention to television, we're going to see now the push for the Heisman and the numbers in the presentation.
Now, we've seen some numbers break from teams this year, had some streak breaking. We know that Michigan hasn't won in the horseshoe since 2000. Does Michigan have what it takes? And Jim Harbaugh came out and said that this game is like two superheroes going at each other.
I don't see it that way. I think Michigan definitely last year defensively was a much better team. I haven't really paid attention to the defense. They've struggled offensively a couple of games this year, but those were challenging rival and conference games. Anything out of pocket, they excel very well. They know the Ohio State, and the Ohio State know them. So it's like checkers and chess situation. The first quarter is really going to dictate the tail of the tape in this game and matchup.
Yeah, I mean, that too. And then Ohio State's uniform LeBron has given them cleats with his logo on them.
Fuck him. I'm a Laker fan. I'm tired of LeBron. I'm a Bronco fan. I'm tired of Russell Wilson. Stop it. These guys doing too much. It's like celebrities getting a podcast. You already famous.
So, I mean, to me, we talked about this game. We talked about Marvin Harris Jr. and his unpredictable catches. I mean, it looked like he'd take his leg off and turn it sideways, and he lands in bounds with it. I mean, he made some spectacular catch. Which one's better? Is his father better than him? Or is he better than his father athletic-wise?
Nobody knew of his daddy in college. Everybody heard about his daddy in the pros. Everybody's talking about this boy in college. He that deal. He got that footwork. I mean, I can't explain. I have a bet in this game that he gets thrown a ball. I got the over 10. He gets the ball thrown him over 10 times. Not catches, but over 10 targets at Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
he is that deal.
And then
Michigan
3
will get today. I got him. He's gonna get 3 touchdowns today. 3 tubs.
Michigan's backup running back Donovan Edwards and Luke Schoonemaker, the tight end, and defensive end Mike March will be back after missing last week. From last week's game for these two teams, did Maryland expose anything against Ohio State that Michigan can take away from that ball game?
Slow start Saturday. They start very slow. They're going to start slow because they're tricking the nation with the running back situation. That's it. They're coming in run heavy. We know that. Michigan will come in run heavy. I say 70-30 run the pass. That's going to change on the first possession. We're going to figure out if Michigan believes in the running game program or not on that first possession that Michigan gets the ball. I think Captain Khaki Pants, Jim Harbaugh, is going to know from there on how to shift or differentiate from the game plan that they had intentionally if the running game worked. Will this trickery work that the running back is not hurt? He's playing. And we dress him up. Can we intimidate them? Bo Schembechler did that back in the day. Intimidation is key. The days of Tyrone Wheatley.
Yeah, I mean, both teams really struggled Saturday. I mean, Illinois took it to Michigan, and Maryland played Ohio State all the way up to that fourth quarter until the C.J. Stroud came through in that fourth quarter to kind of put the game away. But still, both teams struggled. I mean, was that constituting because this game was on the horizon? Now this game is here. No other games behind. They're not looking forward ahead of each other. Now they got in front of each other. So do we see two different teams than we did last week?
Again, it's the familiarity of the programs that everybody knows. No matter what, when you play Michigan and the Ohio State, they're not going to change what they're doing offensively. It's going to stay the same. Defense is going to stay the same. They're not getting out of body. And these two programs they played last week knew that. They adjusted to it and almost got away with it. That's the only thing that happened last week. You got to take advantage of Michigan's very, very slow start. They start very slow. You got to take advantage of the Ohio State not believing in the run game in the first half. They don't believe in the run game for some reason in the first half. But the passing game, if that gets out of hand, CJ going to go wild.
Yeah.
He's going to go wild.
So, my friend, who you're taking in this ball game? Do you trust Michigan or do you trust Ohio State?
It's a tough game, man. I love Captain Khaki Pants. I love the Michigan. I met some Michigan alum. I love the Ohio State, playing competitive softball for 25 years. I've been to Columbus. I know some people that went to the Ohio State. I met some good people from there. My good podcasting friend, Denise, that does the buoy, swim to the buoy. I'm picking the Ohio State. I'm picking
You got Ohio State. I have a feeling that something about college football this year has really came to streaks ending. I think Michigan will end the streak today. I have Michigan in a close one by field goal. I have Michigan winning 35-32 today.
You mean the streak of them winning at the Horseshoe?
Yep. They're going to end that streak.
Okay. But you got Michigan, and I have the Ohio State University winning.
Yeah. I'm going out. I'm pulling the upset here.
I don't think if either team wins or loses, it's an upset in this situation. When you're 3-4, there's no upset.
Well,
this is not an upset game to me.
Well, you got 71.0% of people picking Ohio State. You only got 29%. They only give them 29% to win today.
Those people are not even registered voters, so I'm not taking their word for it.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen here.
I have to take a bathroom break.
All right. We're going to be right back. We'll be back with the Clemson breakdown against South Carolina. Can Clemson do it? I am Ray Cruz. This is Dre. This is the All Sports All Plays Network. We'll be right back after these messages.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Funks D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at funksdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray. This is Dre. My friend, we have one question from Anthony Price while we went to the break. He wanted to know, don't the teams that take the L get out of the playoff between Ohio State and Michigan?
No, I don't think they will, because of what happened yesterday with UCLA winning. If Cal would have won that game, that would have changed the whole trajectory of today. And we haven't even started these games yet. So Cal's sitting back looking pretty right now. They put a crank in the whole wrench yesterday by winning that game. It's just like when Florida won the national championship by losing that year. We lost to Mississippi State. It's just like when Alabama had that loss and still got in the playoff hunt. It's when you lose, who you lose to, and when you lose. That's all it's all about. November can help and hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things can help and hurt you, but South Carolina, with the win over Tennessee last week, they got another ranked team in their home state, the Battle of the South Carolina. Clemson, South Carolina will be the place of this game, not the terrible stadium in Columbia, but they call it the real Death Valley, not the one in LSU. But Clemson here, number 8 Clemson will be the host to South Carolina, unranked South Carolina Gamecocks. How does Clemson and South Carolina play this game today? How will South Carolina prepare for Clemson? And that win against Tennessee, do they give them the momentum coming into this ball game today?
Well, Dabo pissed, by the way.
Yes, he's
pissed
very
about
pissed.
the way they lost. He doesn't like that loss. And then the way he downplayed the season, the way he challenged his players. You know, at the beginning of the season, he said, I don't have the team I thought I had. This team is not as good as I thought. So the pressure's going to be on us. I'm going to challenge my players. He said that in week 0.
Mm-hmm.
And now everything has changed and shifted. And his team was in a situation and they did not meet the challenge. And now he's in his feelings and he wants us to feel sorry for him. I don't. I got South Cackalack beating, upsetting Clemson.
How good will Spencer Rattler be for South Carolina in this ball game against the Clemson's defense?
325, 2 tugs, 1 pick, 32 yards rushing.
Yeah, I guess you see that? Against the Clemson's defense.
Clemson, they missed the opportunity. You know how big this shape-up could have been if Clemson would have won that game, if UCLA would have lost, if TCU would have lost, if Tennessee would have won that game against South Carolina. Do you imagine the makeup and the magnitude of today? It would be even worse. If all those scenarios would have shifted, that's what Jimbo is caught up on. Not Jimbo,
Dabo.
That's what he's caught. He's mad that he gave his team misinformation at the beginning of the season. That was the wrong affirmation to use to motivate your team. Then when he realized he had the Cowboy players and he tried to get the coach back, it backfired and they lost. So now he's trying to re-energize the team. But the team is like, but coach, before the season started, this is shit you told us.
Yeah, well, if you look at some of these numbers here for the defense for South Carolina, they're giving up 188.4 yards rushing. They're giving up 208.6 yards passing. But Clemson passes the ball for 228.8 yards on offense and 183 yards from rushing. So, I mean, Clemson is almost averaging what South Carolina defense gives up on the rushing. But if you look at Clemson's defense on the other side, they give up 214.5 yards passing, and they give up 104 yards rushing. South Carolina passes the ball more effectively with 248.5 yards passing per game, but they only rush for 128.5.
Right.
But going into Clemson, South Carolina, you got to shut down the Clemson, South Carolina crowd because that crowd gets loud at that stadium. The height, one of the best entrance in all college football. They load up the bus and when Clemson goes around to the other side and run down that hill. It's very intimidating for the other team looking up that hill and you seeing all this orange coming down this hill, especially when Debo Swinney is the first one running down that hill at full speed. Sometimes I was scared he might fall and tumble over. But, you talk about the running of the Bulls in Spain. This is the running of the Tigers in Clemson when they come down that hill. So
I've been to Clemson. You've been to Clemson before?
Yep, I've been plenty of times.
Yeah, and it is very intimidating. But I love the whole spectacle about that whole stadium scenario you just described so beautifully. It can be intimidating. It really can. But I think what South Carolina did to Tennessee, the way they did it, and that spectacle, the way they upgraded the facility, that's going to reign in their head today. And they're going to say, hey, what? We got this. South Carolina going to beat the shit out of them.
You sure about that?
Oh, yeah. I got South Carolina by 4. I'm not gambling today. I didn't gamble yesterday. I'm not gambling this week. This will be the first non-gambling week of sports in probably 20 years I haven't done.
Well, South Carolina is the underdog by 14 points. Clemson's favored by 14. The over and under is 53.
Give me them 14 and give me South Carolina. Give me the 14 in South Carolina.
I think Clemson win by a field goal.
No.
It's just my opinion.
Isn't that kicker horrible and his girlfriend's hideous or something? Or he doesn't have a girlfriend? There's something about the kicker I don't like.
I actually got a pretty good kicker. Clemson does.
Well, we're going to upgrade his dating life.
He might have a situation off the field, but when he comes between the lines and kicks the ball, he seems pretty good myself.
Between the lines.
So this game is at noon on ABC. You have 81,500 people going to be in this stadium today.
Wow.
That's the capacity.
It's going to be more at the shoe, baby.
Of course, the shoe is bigger. I mean, you got double rows on every side. It looks like a horseshoe.
Ohio. It's going to be off the chain.
So, of course, they'll probably pack more people than Clemson. But Ohio State don't have the entrance like Clemson does, though. That's the problem. They just run out of tunnel like it ain't nothing. Clemson runs down a hill and takes a bus to the hill. But police escort. Who in the world does you see on college football to watch them load up the bus and go from the starting point all the way over to the other side of the stadium, and they follow the bus the entire time.
Vatek
don't get on a bus. They just come through the tunnel
They
with
just walk.
Sandman.
But people follow them. They come in civilian clothes and a uniform. People follow them. Craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hey,
they go in the tunnel in civilian clothes. People follow them. They come out in uniform and people follow them. Never seen that before in my life. Until I went to that Vatek LSU game when they retired Michael Vick jersey.
I've been Blacksburg too.
I love Blacksburg. Shout out to Dale Carey.
But you got South Carolina winning. I got Clemson winning. You're going to take your conference. I'm taking my conference.
There we go. There we stand. Already in the building.
So there you go, bro. You got that one. All righty. We're going to move right along here today. We're going to bring up this game here. The West Virginia Mountaineers versus the Oklahoma State Cowboys today. What is the situation that we have going here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, not playing up in West Virginia? We're going to go to Stillwater for this game here today. How does West Virginia go into Stillwater and pull out a win against the Oklahoma State Suitor and the Mullet? Because right now the Mullet is not having a party. It is not having a party in the in the back. It's business in the front, party in the back. It's not partying in the back right now.
That's how the Mullet should go. But good question and great point. I think the passing game of West Virginia didn't live up to the hype in the moment. And Oklahoma State, I don't know what's going on with that program. I don't know what happened. The hope and the possibility and the dream. Is it recruiting? I want to know that. But I'm going to stay with my roots here. I'm going to go with my people, my crew. I'm rooting for the Oklahoma State.
The Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're talking about West Virginia's recruiting, they might not
Oklahoma
be putting
State recruiting.
Oh. Now, I'm going to talk
about who we lost at West Virginia. We lost that damn Manning kid. We lost him. He was coming to West Virginia.
Hey, he sold out to the highest bidder. Yeah, West Virginia didn't put no money in.
I got to meet with Cooper. I got to meet with Cooper later on today. Cooper and I got to talk because I don't agree.
Since they're stopping the fracking, that means they stopped the money making for West Virginia, so they didn't have enough money to go up against the oil company down in Texas. So
that money in Texas is different. That's long money.
That's oil money down there.
Long money.
This ain't bad if the United States if Texas decided to go back to their own state. Just think about it.
That's funny. That is funny.
They go back to their own state. They got enough oil to run their country for a long, long time. But anyway, so you say that the Mullet's going to become party in the back after this ball game. That's what you're saying?
I'm taking Oklahoma State in this game.
Well, I don't know what's going on in West Virginia right now. I don't know if the incest people are just not producing enough recruits anymore. I don't know how that goes because right now you lost to Archie Manning. I feel for Archie Manning. I mean, he could have gone up there and could have brought his first cousin with him if he wanted to.
We could have brought back the Archie gang for real. We could have recreated that show then. The Archies with Jughead in the game, Veronica, Becky. We could have brought them all back. But no, this motherfucker want to go to Texas.
I got Oklahoma State also winning this ball game. I think the party's gonna be back in the Mullet. You got business in the front day, party in the back. It's gonna be party at Stillwater. I got them going. All right, my friend. We know we hate the next team we're gonna talk about with a passion. We like this, sir. We got to understand that, but the aspect of college football, the Army Knights versus going into UMass, the Minuteman.
Ooh. Give me Army.
I'll take Army.
Give me Army and give me pleasure.
Hey, last time we both picked Army, Army didn't win. Last time we didn't pick Army, they won. All right. New Mexico State and Liberty. Huge freeze. Could this be Huge Freeze's last game at Liberty if they decide to offer him the job at Auburn?
No, and I like Liberty. Liberty Mutual. Liberty Mutual. Liberty University.
Yeah, I got Liberty too. I think God's going to show them the way to win today.
That's an awesome pun. That is an awesome pun. If you don't know what Liberty University is about, that's an awesome pun, dude. Great job, Bray.
Hey, man, it only took me 30 seconds to come up with it. God showed me the way on that one.
That was an awesome pun right there, man. That was awesome.
All righty, brother. Rutgers will go into, well, I still call it Bird Stadium. It's called Maryland. It's called Maryland Stadium, or Terp Stadium, whatever they want to call it now. Maryland versus Rutgers, hosting Rutgers today. Rutgers come in at 4-7, 1-7 in the Big Ten. Maryland is 6-5 and 3-5 in the Big Ten. It's going to be 52 degrees at College Park Maryland, and it's called the SCU Stadium now. I don't know why they changed it from Bird Stadium, but you know. So, my friend, let's talk about this game a little bit here. We got Tunga Bailoa's brother playing here for Maryland against Rutgers. Does Rutgers fear the Terps today?
Fear the turtle is real, Ray. Fear the turtle. I love the Maryland Terrapins. I'm telling you, I love this football program. When the helmets first came out, everybody thought they were hideous, but now everybody loves them. And everybody's feeling the program.
It hurt my eyes when they first came out.
I love the defensive skill set of this team. They're so sexy on defense. Oh, my God. They're quick. They get to the ball. They attack the area, the zone, the communication, the skill set. I love it all. I'm taking Maryland in this game.
And if you look at this game, it's a very interesting thing. Rutgers give up 28.5 a game. Maryland is averaging 28.5 a game. So, I mean, if you look on that, Maryland can score their average of 28.5 against his defense because they're giving up that much.
Flipping. About to go down.
So does Rutgers have enough defensive ends and blitzes, or is the head coach who just came back this year, he doesn't have all his players figuratively, or does he bring Rutgers back within a couple more years like he had when he was first there?
It's going to probably take 2 to 3 years for Rutgers to get back where people think Rutgers football should be at. I say 2 to 3 years with him. But I'm liking this matchup here for the Maryland Terrapins. I'm liking this. Fear the turtle. Fear the turtle.
Well, I mean, it's interesting here. Rutgers come in losing the last 4 games, and Maryland's coming in losing the last 3 games. So both teams coming in on a losing streak. So
that's cool, but you got to get over the hump, and I think it helps Maryland in this situation more than anything.
Yeah, me watching Maryland play in the 80s and 90s up to the point they left the ACC to go to the Big Ten. I think Maryland's football has dropped off when they went to the Big Ten instead of staying in the ACC where they were effectively.
Right.
But they went with the money. So,
That's what all programs do. Show me the money. You want the money, you want the wins, you want the prestige, or you want the player. That's what you need to apply the skills at in college sports throughout the board.
Yeah, I mean, that stadium is okay. I've been up there a couple of times watching. I went watch North Carolina play back in the late 90s, early 2000s up there. So
Hadn't been to Maryland in a while.
You ain't missing too much.
It was probably mid-'90s when I went. No, late 90s, early 2000s when I went. Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I went there last time Carolina basketball team played Maryland, and they shut down Coles Field House. So.
This Matt Rule, Nebraska thing is really burning my soul.
Don't let it get to you, man. Let it get to you.
I'm going to apply for a coaching job next year. I'm throwing my hat out there. I'm going to do it.
All right, my friends. We're going to go up to Harrisonburg, Virginia, where the James Madison Duke will host to the team out of Conway, South Carolina, and Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers. Let's talk about this game right now. We haven't talked too much about JMU Dukes, and we haven't talked too much about Coastal Carolina like we did last year for the Coastal Carolina when they were up in the rankings. What do we see here? Does Coastal Carolina head coach leave for a new job after the season? Because his name has been rolled in some of these jobs that are open. Does he take a step up, or does he stay in Coastal Carolina? Does something that Scott Frost didn't do, because he's got this program going in the right direction. James Madison, all the hand in hand coming from the FCS into the FBS. They have played some expired football too, but they have struggled here lately. How does this game compare to a bigger game when there's two coast rivalries in Virginia and South Carolina coming together here for the first time in this rivalry?
A lot there to compartmentalize. I think the coach is going to stay at Coastal Carolina. I don't think it's due to what Scott Frost did or did not do or accomplish. I like the way the programs, both of these schools have really jumped up and stepped up into the program. And this game has lots of implications, especially in the gambling world. This game is feeling real sexy on that plus 13, taking James Madison. But I like Coastal Carolina, maybe because I love and adore the people of Conway and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And on the other hand, when you have a consistent program that's continuously getting better, where do you place your odds? So this is one of those games that could be that crick in that wrench for you.
I mean, they setting the spread up kind of high because now it's jumped up to 15.
It's 15 now?
Yeah, James Madison's favored by 15 points.
Shit, it was 13 yesterday. See?
That's
bullshit.
15.
Who moved the line? Who did that? Who moved?
I don't know.
Who moved the line?
And the over and under is 53 points in this ball game. Both teams are averaging 31.6 for the Chandeliers, and the Dukes are averaging 36 points. So, I mean, at 53 and over, they both average their points in this ball game. It's going to be 67 points. So, will you take the over in this ball game if you were betting? Since you said you ain't betting this week, so
I'm not betting that. If I was betting, I would take the plus 15 now in James Madison.
So,
if I was betting today in gambling, I would take the plus 15 in James Madison.
I mean, James Madison coming in one of the last two games against Old Dominion and Georgia State. Georgia State. And then if you look on the other hand, Coastal Carolina is coming off they beat Marshall, Appalachian State, and USM the last three games here. They're coming on a 3-game winning streak. So up in Harrisburg, the temperature is going to be 51 degrees. That's pretty reasonable, kind of high for this time of year up in the mountains of Virginia. Right. So, I mean, the capacity of this crowd will be 24,877 people. Because James Madison does sell out.
It will. It definitely will sell out on this occasion.
Coastal Carolina comes in at 9-1, 6-1 in conference play. James Madison comes in at 7-3 and 5-2 in their conference. So, my friend, who are you picking in this one? Are you going to stay with South Carolina, or are you going to go with the James Madison Dukes?
I love the women and the people of Coastal Carolina. Love it down there. Amazing people. But I'm going with James Madison. Give me the points in James Madison. Give me that plus.
You taking James Madison?
Yeah.
Over the people of Conway, South Carolina?
Yeah.
Man, that is surprising. So I think this is the first time this year you've gone against the people from Coastal. I'm going to take Coastal in this one. So
now
I'm going to stay with the people in South Carolina and Myrtle Beach area.
You're going to stay with the people.
Yeah, had a good time down there because that's where we took our high school senior trip after graduation trip in down there. So we had a good time down there. Party time. Back in the young days. All right, my friend. Old Dominion versus South Alabama, the Jaguars in this ball game. Who are we going to take in this ball game?
Old Dominion.
Yeah, I think the people in Hampton Roads area, Norfolk, the Hampton Boulevard, the opposite end of the naval base. You got the naval base on one end, you got Old Dominion on the other end. And when they collide into each other, you know, there's a lot of babies making down there at that time. But get out a little bit of information there on that one. But I got Old Dominion. I think they went down. All right, there. Marshall, the Thundering Herd will host Georgia State today. Where are you looking at this? How does the Herd get back on their winning tracks?
Give me We Are Marshall, the Thundering Herd. White Chop to Jason Williams and Randy Moss shout out.
Yeah, since Georgia State's playing on the road, I think Marshall will win this ball game myself. On that one.
Marshall.
All righty here. Yeah. We are now at Western Kentucky at Florida Atlantic. Who do you take in this ball game?
Give me Florida Atlantic.
Florida Atlantic. I'm going to take the Hilltoppers. They let me down last week. I think they get back on their winning track this week. All right. The people in Greenville, North Carolina, not South Carolina, North Carolina. East Carolina, the Pirates at the Temple Owls up in Philly at the Lincoln Financial Stadium. How does East Carolina go up to Temple and beat Temple this game?
Dominating offense, man. Dominating offense. Fast, effective. Give me them P-Rats.
Now, my question to you is, we know East Carolina's quarterback is pretty healthy. Is he going to come in bigger than he has done from Turkey Day?
He's what they call a thick biscuit, mama. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. But it's unusual if you look at the temperature. It's going to be 53 degrees in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania today. That's surprising.
Philadelphia freedom. Weather.
So I'm going to take the Pirates in this one. You taking the Pirates too?
Yes.
All right, Kent State at Buffalo will be the next one that we're going to pick here. Let me bring up this thing here. Who we got in this one, my friend?
Buffalo and who?
Kent State.
Give me Kent State.
You got the Bulls against the Flesh.
Yeah.
You got Kent State. I'm taking Buffalo in this one. Akron will go into Northern Illinois today. You got the Akron Zips against the Illinois Husky. Will the Dogs run over the Zip? What the hell is a Zip?
Give me NIU, Tony Romo, you. Give me them.
You taking that? I'm going to take them because I'm familiar with them. I don't know too much about what a Zip is. You know, what kind of freaking mascot that Akron has. I know that's the hometown of LeBron James. Surprised LeBron James don't buy his hometown team anything besides the Ohio State. Rice goes into North Texas, the Mean Green Machine. Who you got in this one, man?
Give me Rice.
You got Rice. I'm going to take North Texas. All righty. This is the game we're going to talk about before we give our scores on this game here. We're going to break this game down a little bit here. Louisville returns into the top 25 for the first time this season. Number 25, Louisville Cardinals will go into Kentucky Wildcats and Kroger Stadium. The grocery store will be open on Saturday here at this thing. I wonder what kind of groceries they will give people when they come into the stadiums, but still.
Get a gift card.
What does Louisville have to do to win this game against Kentucky? And your thoughts of your person that you said should win the Heisman and Levis, the quarterback for Kentucky?
I think you got to slow Kentucky down. You got to calm down the hypeness. They coming in real hype. I'm not talking about the Jared Lorenzen days, but they're coming in really, really hyped. Like they're feeling themselves. They got the fan base. They got the supporters. The boosters are on board. The nation is watching about what's building and what's branding and what's coming a real thing. Kentucky has a football team. Kentucky has a quarterback that could be mentioned in the Heisman Trophy conversation. Nobody saw that coming. So on the other side, you got Louisville. You got to quiet that noise. Louisville has put out their caliber of football. They've been known an effective program since the days of Lamar Jackson. How to put out that type of offense to light up the numbers, get the likes, but keep it going. And Louisville is on pace for that. But at the same time, Kentucky is trying to get that recognition outside of a different program at the same institution.
I mean, Louisville comes in this game, they're pretty balanced, 217.7 passing to their 196.5 rushing. So they're almost getting over almost 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing, the combination of that. But Mark Stoops' defense has been stingy. They're only averaging 176 passes to 145 rushes against them. So how does Satterwhite and his offensive philosophy match up against Stoops and his defensive philosophy? Which one's going to have a better matchup today?
I do believe that Louisville could have a great opportunity in this whole situation, in this matchup today. But it's about sustainability and understanding the down situation, understand what a 2nd and 5 is versus a 3rd and 3. If they understand that on defense, it can really benefit and help Louisville in attacking and winning this game against Kentucky. On the other side of Kentucky, now we're in the conversation of being a quarterback that has the potential to go further. So do we generate this game around his performance that he's been doing? So they have to be careful with that. I would go into this game if I'm Kentucky and utilizing what I see as an advantageous point of seeing what that defense is doing. And on the other side, if I'm Louisville, I'm going to intimidate and attack that offensive line in offensive situation the best way possible.
Yeah, I agreed to that as supplement too. This is another game where ACC versus a SEC team. We have 3 of those on the game today. One in Georgia, Georgia Tech, Clemson, and South Carolina. Now we have Louisville and Kentucky, and 2 in-state teams are going up against each other here. The Battle of Kentucky here. Who, in your opinion, will have a better chance of taking this game today? Will it be number 25 Louisville, or will Kentucky get back to their winning ways after dropping the game against Vanderbilt and Georgia, both at home?
Give me Kentucky.
You're going to take the SEC Kentucky. I think Kentucky's ruling. I think Louisville's not doing too slabby. They're 4-1 in the last 5 games, losing to Clemson's the only loss they had, but beating NC State last week. I think that momentum is going to carry them around. I'm going to take the ACC in this one here. I got 2 out of the 3 contests going to the ACC against the SEC today. My friend, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to bring in the number 7 ranked team, Alabama versus Auburn, in the Iron Bowl here. I am Ray and Dre. This is the All Sports All Place college breakdown on the All Sports All Place network. We'll be right back after these messages.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365 5, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Nah, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Funks D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at funksdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Place Network. I am Ray Cruz. We're going to bring my co-host back in here, but I just want to give him a good shout out for his show here. If you want to go ahead and check out his show, just click the QR code, the Who to Blame podcast. Dre Montez, we're bringing him right back into this thing here. My friend Dre. Hey, gotta give you another shout out, man. Yo,
appreciate it already.
Yeah,
already
building up your podcast area there on that stuff.
Yeah, so, man. We just did 500 episodes, man. So
you bringing it on up now?
Yeah, I'm getting there, man. I'm making my mom and dad proud of me. Trying to.
That is good. That is good. Yeah, my mom and dad are sitting up in heaven watching me right now. So, yeah. Already talked to the man upstairs, you know. But anyway, you gotta keep moving on here. The Iron Bowl. Number 7, Alabama Crimson Tide hosting the Auburn Tigers and Cadillac Williams today. The Iron Bowl is here. Can we see another Iron Bowl where Alabama kicks a field goal and Auburn catches it and runs it back for a touchdown?
No, that year that happened, man, there was so much that went on that night. You know, there's a guy in prison right now because of that game. Families got together. There's so many stories that generated from that game. There's so many things that happened in that night in the following 48 hours after the game. Crazy scenario. I don't see that happening again. I want to keep that moment where it was. But I think Auburn has the time to really make and discuss the situation. Should Nick Saban retire? Hello, America. Let's do it. Bring it. Nobody's talking about it. Is this it? They did it with Steve Spurrier. They did it with Bobby Bowden. They did it with Joe Paterno. They did it with every coach that's getting at an age in that scenario of losing a game that we think the school should win. And the school doesn't win, or they're not having the year they should have. It all comes back to who, kids? The coach. And now with technology and the way the game is changing, is the game passing Nick Saban by?
That's a question. I mean, he's getting up in age and stuff, but let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question here. Let's put a scenario up. Just say if. Not saying it's going to happen, but say if. If Cadillac Williams and Auburn pulls an upset today, does this help his case of getting the Auburn job?
It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't
Being
hurt.
Being your rival, though.
It wouldn't hurt, but the Cadillac, see, in college, here's the thing. You have to bring something to the table to be a collegiate football coach. Because them boosters want answers. They have questions. They have undeniable love for that institution. And they want to make sure that their money is being spent and utilized the right way. So what is Cadillac Williams bringing to the table? Is he bringing recruits next year? Is he? But what he bringing to the? We know the name. We know what he did collegiately for the school and institution. We know that. We know what happened to him in the NFL. We know that. But when it comes to building a program, what are we bringing to the name? Bringing to the table other than the name and the history? Come on.
Yeah,
That's the thing. If he wins this game, yes, that could help the case. Hell yeah. If he loses the game, he may get fired tonight. Listen, Jeff Saturday hire helped and hurt a lot of people. Scenarios moving forward.
Right.
The unorthodox hire of a coach, as I want to call it.
I mean, you can't blame that on Jeff Saturday. You got to blame that on the head coach, on the head man, the owner.
I'm not blaming the product or the outcome. It's the situational outcome that's the outcry.
The way the hiring process was.
If Cadillac Williams wins this game today, it's novice beats expert.
Yeah. That's gonna be. I don't know how this was set on Nick Saban's thing. If he loses to a person that played for Auburn and then didn't have a chance of winning this game, because they're only giving Auburn a 5.5% chance of beating Alabama today in Tuscaloosa.
As bad as Alabama is to college football standards, I can't believe the high plausibility of them winning. Not possibility, but plausibility. How is this? Doesn't make sense to me, the odds on this. This is one of the worst Alabama football teams, according to college football, that Nick Saban has ever had.
But you have guys like the hype train. We got the hype train because everybody was hyping them up. And Will Anderson. How is this the worst Alabama team that Nick Saban has coached when you got a defensive end who's a monster?
This is according to Nick Saban. He said this. He said this is the worst team I've ever had. Nobody can do anything they're supposed to do or capable of doing. Wow.
And you got Bryce Young, the stud, the Heisman Trophy winner back quarterback.
He is not. I still don't believe he won the Heisman Trophy last year. I forgot he won the Heisman Trophy. That's how insignificant the Heisman Trophy has become.
Yeah.
It's not that big deal no more.
We always say that the right person don't always win the Heisman Trophy. It's just more of a hype trophy than it is supposed to be the outstanding college player at the time.
Right now, who is the most outstanding college football player to you right now?
Well, the person that really helps their team the most, who needs their team to win, that's Corum, the tailback for Michigan. If he doesn't play well, Michigan don't win. That's point blank. I think he's the most dynamic person in college football right now. That he helps his team is better him on the field than he does off the field, because it showed against Illinois. Without Corum on the field, Michigan barely beat Illinois last week.
Mine is no one. I have not seen one player this year to earn the title of Heisman Trophy. I haven't seen it. The significance, the meaning, the prestige, it has not met up to me. I haven't seen not one person that I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker need to be in a Heisman Trophy conversation. I'm not saying you're not allowed to go to New York. There are a lot of people that should go to New York, but to be on that stage, I haven't seen it this year. There's not been one dominant player week in and week out. as in the past as the Heisman Trophy used to be. That Heisman Trophy, we knew that player was going to the NFL. We knew it. Now, there are questions. Is he going to work for Enterprise, State Farm?
Now, my question to you is should you put a requirement on the Heisman that they should know how to drive stick?
Bring the stick shift back. Bring it back. Bring back manual transmission.
It's
great on gas. Help fuel the economy.
And people don't understand when you talk about the best security for your car is having a manual shift in your car because nobody's going to be able to steal it because nobody knows how to drive it.
Nobody. They stole my car before. True story. They went a block and a half and left the door open.
Now, my dad had a truck. I don't know if you remember the time with the 3-shifter on the column on the trucks. The 3-speed.
Right. I had a 3-speed shifter. A Ford. I had a Ford car that was a 3-speed shifter. Yeah.
Now, people don't realize, they got these little push button cars now. You push the button and it starts. Back in the day, they had a truck, a Chevy truck, because my great-grandfather had it, where you had to where you turn the key, and the key didn't start it. You turn the key to turn the thing on. But you had to go by the gas pedal. They had a little starter thing in the by the gas pedal. You had to hit the gas pedal and that starter thing at the same time to fire the truck. So that would be a good anti-theft too. So
I think she get shocked. Not electrocuted, but just shocked.
And if people don't realize today that the high beams used to be on the floor. You had to push the button on the floor to make your high beams come up.
It was to the left. Double click. Boom, boom.
Yep.
We're showing our age, Ray. And that hair coming in real good too, man, by the way. My bad.
26 days.
I just blew the screen up again. Now I can see you. Yeah. I just blew my screen up. You're on the 70-inch now.
Oh, I'm
Yeah. I put the show on the 70-inch when I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes I forget I gotta hit that button. Being legally blind.
Yeah, see, I told you I can grow a head full of hair. Ain't no bald spot in there.
You still look like a creative player in the video game. Like the building stage, you have no money and no points. And this is the version I gotta build off of right here.
So who you taking today, Alabama or Auburn?
Man, give me Alabama. I'm not going against that dude. That dude mad. Nick Saban and Bill Belichick have to be angry. You know why? Both of their daughters look like them.
Well, my friend, I know it probably couldn't happen, but I am pulling the upset today. I am taking Auburn, going into Tuscaloosa, and watching Williams pull his hamstring, run up down the sidelines, getting his team fired up. I'm taking Auburn today.
You feeling yourself?
No, I'm not feeling myself. I'm just taking.
You must have a mirror in your bedroom. You looked in the mirror when you did it this morning because you feeling yourself.
Nah.
You see a blowout, a close game, field goal.
It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be about field goal. I'm gonna go back to the step. I'm gonna say Alabama's gonna kick a 50-yard field goal to try to win, and the guy's gonna catch it and return it back for a touchdown. It's deja vu. Deja vu.
No. I don't think that's going to happen again because he learned his lesson. He put the wrong package on the field. That's what she said. But he put the wrong defensive package on the field. He put his defensive team out there. If you listen to the video and the audio,
I know
Nick Saban talks about that. That was the wrong coverage team that was out there. I'm not making excuses for the man, but I'm just saying I don't think that's ever going to happen again, or Nick Saban will punch a coach on live TV.
All right, my friend. We're going to move out of the SEC, going to the Pac-12. We're going to go see number 9 Oregon versus number 21 Oregon State. This is 2 ranked teams in Oregon for the Civil War. in Caballos, Oregon. This is not in Eugene. This is in Oregon State. How do we see the Oregon Ducks go into Oregon State and win this ball game today? Does Bo Nix have a game of his life today?
All that shit he been talking, he need to. He didn't live up to the moment last week. Where were you at? They should play Yellowstone before the game. Like the best clips of Yellowstone before this game. I know Yellowstone is in Montana. This game is in Oregon. But the simple fact, what Bo Nix did and said and has done, I'm still putting you on the stage, bro. I'm going to pick Oregon winning this one over the Beavers. Whose Beaver is that, Daddy? I don't know, but I'm going to take that Beaver, and I'm going to take Mr. Bo Nix.
I'm going to take Bo Nix on this one myself.
The uniforms they wearing today got some swag to it. I think they're wearing that slime green.
I don't know. They got so many uniform connection combinations.
Isn't there 147 uniform combinations they can wear?
Yeah.
It's something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this right now, the way the Pac-12 has their championship game set up, Oregon has to win today to clinch their spot in the Pac-12 championship.
Because they take the what happened yesterday with UCLA.
They take the number 1 and number 2 teams of this thing. If the Ducks lose, that means the Washington Huskies goes to the championship game because the Washington Huskies beat Oregon. So, my friend, we both got the Oregon Ducks winning. So, USC doesn't have to worry about because they already clinched their spot because they play Notre Dame today. We'll be talking about it here that in a few minutes. So let's move right along here. We about got Oregon over to Oregon State. The Ducks over the Beavers anytime because the Ducks own their spots on the road because they here in Florida they have a lot of Ducks and they don't want to move for the cars. Yeah,
that's a real problem down there in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a lot of whores here in St. Louis.
All right, my friend. Illinois. We got some more games to go through here. We're almost halfway done, so we're gonna have to do some rapid fire here. So, my friend, Illinois at Northwestern. Does Northwestern get a win in the U.S. Continental today?
Man, I feel so much love on this game on both sides. I got a lot of connections with Northwestern as well as Illinois. The Fighting Illini. I'm going to do it again out of love of my dude. Give me the Fighting Illini on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Fighting Illini. I don't think Northwestern's going to win. This game is so bad, they didn't even put it on ESPN3 or ESPN Plus. They have no television for this associated with this game today.
I blame the salespeople for that. They couldn't sell the game to nobody, not even to a local affiliate, ABC 48, CBS 97. You didn't do your job. I would fire those people.
They have no broadcast for this game.
You mean to tell me I can't watch my baby Dante play? I can't watch my baby play. You know I got a bad hip. I can't get to the game.
Right now, I don't have no listing for this ball game. I went and tried to search for this local channels and everything else.
Ball. Disrespectful.
This is the battle of
football game should be on TV.
This is the battle of Illinois too. You know, you figure Illinois will have something on TV. It could be. I mean, you know,
they steal so much money in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Nobody understands. They steal all the money. The women too.
All right, Minnesota at Camp Randall, the Wisconsin Badgers. Does Wisconsin continue? Did they win their 5th game under the interim head coach today?
Give me Wisconsin.
You're going to take the Swiss cheese.
Give me that. Give me the Cheez-Its. My little sister went there a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going with the Cheez-Its.
Yeah, I've been to Madison a couple times up there. Been to the campus
when I was 20.
Went through the campus, you know, seen Camp Randall. You know. Seen underneath the bleachers.
Look at you. You weren't sitting underneath no bleachers. You were doing something else underneath the bleachers.
I can't confirm or deny. All right, my friend. We're going to go to the Hoosier State. Purdue at Indiana. Who you got today? This game is at 3:30 on the Big Ten Network.
If Purdue wins this game, they're in the Big Ten championship, right?
Let me check that standings here for you.
This is a big moment for Purdue. I mean, the Boilermaker. Where's Mike Allstott when you need him?
He's sitting somewhere in Florida, chilling. All right, my friend. If Purdue wins, they are in the Big Ten championship. They're 5-3. Iowa behind them at 5-4. Illinois is at 4-4. The Gophers at 4-4. Wisconsin's at 4-4. Nebraska's at 3-6, and 1-7 Wildcats. So, my friend, this is a big moment for Purdue Boilermakers. Will they win at Indiana, or will Indiana pull a surprise into this matchup here today?
I don't think it's a Bobby Knight throwing a chair on the floor, or choking a player that released that video, that asshole piece of shit. But in the words of Mike Allstott, in my former Navy bow hook, Julie, I'm going Purdue. I want the Boilermakers. Give me Purdue. Let's go.
I'm going with Indiana on this one.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana,
hey,
Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
I've been to Gary, Indiana.
Everybody
I got told by I had to stop and get gas in a sketchy section of the neighborhood, and the cops told me I better get out of there because it was after dark.
I think we're going to need a bigger boat, Daddy. I think we're there.
All right, this is the battle of the state of North Carolina. Wake Forest Demon Deacon goes into Wallace Wade Stadium to play the Duke Blue Devils. Who you got?
Give me the Wakey Bakey, the Wakey Wakeys, and the Demon Deacons. Still don't like Chris Paul.
I think Wake Forest will win this one myself. All right, we're going to go to our favorite place in the whole wide world. We can go to the 808 area code where the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors versus San Jose State Spartans in California up there. Who you got?
Oh my God. We're playing in California.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is I'm gonna ride off my 3-game winning streak here of my Hawaii team. 808 in the building.
Yes, I got University of Hawaii too.
I went to the Thanksgiving parade in Hawaii every year in downtown Hawaii. They used to televise it on TV. I don't know if they still do. I know they televised the Christmas Day parade, but the Thanksgiving parade in downtown Waikiki, that deal. 808 in the building. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Shock 'em, bro.
They still do the Thanksgiving parade, but you got to watch out for the hookers trying to come up to you and talk to you on the side of the street. So
hookers always try to talk to me.
Oh, let me tell you that. Oh, hold up. My mom, my brother, and my sister came out to Hawaii when I was stationed out there. My mom always wanted to go to Hawaii, so they stayed down in Waikiki. I put them in a hotel in Waikiki.
The Hollywood or the Pink Hotel?
No, this was the one right beside it. This was the I can't think of the name of it.
The Flamingo.
No, it's on the other side. The Flamingo was on this side. It was the one on the other side of it.
You had the Hollywood, you had the Flamingo, and you had
Outriggers, I think.
There's Outrigger Hotel. Baby.
Yeah, I think it was the Outrigger. Hotel. Because I tried to get him in the Hollywood, it was full, so I had to go. We did the Outrigger.
Hollywood was beautiful.
Yeah, so we went down to Waikiki. She wanted to see Waikiki downtown at night. I said, "Ma, you don't want to go down there at night." I said, "That's all the hookers and stuff down there at night." Oh yeah. So I told my brother, my brother was sitting at probably about 10 years old or somewhere around there, 10, 11 to 12. I can't even remember his age. I told my brother because he was starting to get about the same height as I was. I told my brother don't leave a space between me and him. My brother drifted off to the side a little bit, left the space. This little tiny hooker come up to him. Didn't look at me. He looked at my brother. Turned around my brother and said, $50 blowjob. And my mom was walking behind, my sister was behind. They were started giggling and laughing. My brother was looking at because my brother didn't know nothing about that and stuff like that. My brother looked at him like she was like, "Man," I turned around. I told her, I said, "Look, my brother's only like 12. He's about 12 years. He's a minor."
She's like, blowjob at 12?
No. I cut that out quickly because you can ask one question to them, they have to tell you because their state law has to tell you. I looked at her and said, "You're a cop." And she looked at me and says, "Yep. How you know?" I said, "I seen you coming off the unmarked police car over there in the corner." That's the military teacher. You got to watch your 360, right? So, right. And they always tell you in the brief when I first got there, you always ask the person.
I told people about that video. I watched the video on how to live and survive in Hawaii as a military man. They showed me a video. So you saw the same video. Yeah. It was where to go, where not to go, what to do, what not to do. If you get in trouble, what to do. It was when they put the purple sticker on the back of our ID, our first version of Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
When they just took it out of your fucking bank account.
Yep.
If you had that purple sticker on the back of your ID.
Yep.
Finally, I know somebody remembers that.
Yep.
Because I would get liquored up and, hey, Aloha Cab, what's it called? Aloha Cab?
Yeah.
Called him. I had the same driver all the time. Boom. Ran my account. But yeah, it came out all the time. Monthly.
Yeah, I had my own personal taxi cab driver down there.
Everybody did. Yeah, man.
I'm glad
somebody remembers those days. That was the first version of Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, because
to me.
What was it? To go
I don't
to
even know
the
what
best
the program was called. I know it came out in the call of the day.
Right.
Printout. It was in the call of the day. And then when we had our morning meeting, they talked about it again. And I'm like, wow, they looking out for us.
I call it Save the Sailor.
That's what it was. Yeah. It was that purple sticker.
Yeah.
That's what good call right there.
Yeah, and it was so funny because the best luau, you had to go through Waianae down in Paradise Cove.
Oh,
you had to go through Waianae.
Oh, man. Waianae. Oh, my God. Waianae was like different.
I met my boy down there.
I met my homie in Makaha.
I met my ultimate fighter who fight horse racing and 3 in Charlotte, North Carolina, in Kimbo.
I hung out with Jack Johnson at the bonsai piping surfing competition.
North Shore?
My homie used to surf for Billabong.
Over on the North Shore?
Yeah. So I went to that. And when the MTV Hunk came to Hawaii, I wanted to go to the filming, and the Navy put out a disclaimer. Nobody is allowed to go in that area of Waikiki. If you are, here are the consequences. I'm like, wow.
That's pretty bad.
The Navy was something else, man. They were haters. They didn't want us to get no shine back in the day.
You couldn't go to Hotel Street.
You could go there, but if you got in trouble, you were on your own. Yeah. That was in the video that I watched. You saw the same video. Yeah,
when I was there, they made it where we couldn't go down there no more.
Yeah.
Somebody got to get killed down there in off of Hotel Street, and that was a Navy guy.
Yep. They beat up a Navy guy real bad like a year before I got there, like in the 88.
Can't be no worse than what one of our guys on the ship, he had a flat tire in the wrong section of the town in Hawaii, and he had about 5 Samoan guys drive up in the car and offered to change his tire. And he said, okay. All 5 of them got out and beat, out of them and stole his car. Changed the tire and stole his car.
What was he at?
He was actually in Waianae. The part of Waianae that you don't want to stop at.
Nobody. It's like Wapahu. Look here. It's not a lot of tall people in Hawaii, but they can throw them hands. They can throw them hands.
See, I had no problem. I had never had a problem when I went to Waianae because my boy Kimbo, he ran Waianae. He was the king of Waianae.
I never had no problems in Hawaii. None.
I didn't.
In fact, I worked with the civilian public and I played softball and I was in the Navy. I never had an issue. Never. But I saw people and I saw things and I heard things and I knew about things. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
I was in Waikiki for like 6 months.
Yeah, I used to do a bouncing gig in down in Waianae at a bar down there.
What bar was that?
It was a little surfer bar right off the right just before you get to Paradise Cove. It's the very last.
God, Paradise Cove.
Yeah,
man, you're bringing back so many memories right now. Man.
Yeah, we can spend all day on Hawaii, man.
I miss Hawaii so much. Hawaii was good to me. I became Dre in Hawaii. I became Dre in Hawaii.
We got to keep moving on right now. We got about 30 minutes before the first game contest go before I hit to see Georgia play Georgia Tech. And then light up my other 3 screens where the rest of the game's on 12 o'clock today.
So Georgia Tech play at 12?
Yeah.
And Ohio State play at 12?
Yep. Yep, you better bring out all your TVs.
I got them all geared up, bro. I'm locked in.
All right, Memphis at SMU. Who you got?
Give me Memphis.
I'm going to take SMU on this one. Troy and Arkansas State. The men of Troy.
Give me the men of Troy.
Yeah, give me the men of Troy myself. UAB at Louisiana Tech. Who you got?
Give me Lock Tech.
I'm going to take UAB. UTEP at UTSA.
Give me UTSA.
Yeah, I'm going to take UTSA over the Miners.
Hey, they got a defensive tackle that's getting some buzz.
Yeah, I don't know. Iowa State will go to Fort Worth to play number 4 TCU. Who are we going to take? Is TCU going to win out today?
Man, this is a game where it's more pressure on TCU ever in this situation. So I think they're going to be so nervous, so scared to do anything. They may fuck this game up. Give me the upset.
Iowa State's got to go to TCU. Oh, TCU's playing at home.
Give me SMU. I see an upset in this.
Yeah, you taking Iowa State because that's who they're playing.
No, you got the game up here. You got SMU.
That's the wrong one. We are now at. I was doing rapid fire, so I forgot to put those up. We had this game right here. There he is. The Horned Frogs.
Yeah, I'm taking Iowa State.
All right.
I'm pulling an upset right here.
Okay, my friend. Michigan State versus Penn State. The battle of the states. College there.
Well, since 7 of those guys are in trouble, and more evidence is coming out why I hate Michigan State, give me Penn State.
I'm taking the Nittany Lions of Penn State.
The Nittany of the line of the men of Penn State. In Paul, we trust.
All righty. Number 14, Utah at Colorado. The pots will be smoking here today. Who you got?
Give me Colorado.
You taking Colorado over Utah?
Yeah, I know the Utes, and now that what's the man name? Urban Meyer daughter is really on TikTok and right now. I really got to be resentful and just go with Colorado.
All righty, my friend. I forgot to load this one up because it's Southern Miss at University of Louisiana Monroe. Who you got?
Well, we all know how we feel about Mississippi.
There you go.
And Brett Favre. So I'm not picking them at all. So I'm going with Monroe.
Yeah, I'm boycotting this Southern Miss team altogether because I think that was
discontinue the program. How about that? Discontinue the program. Give all that money back to those people. Discontinue the program for 5 years.
Yep. All right. Texas State was good to you last week. Are they still your team? They're going up against Louisiana today.
Ooh. This is interesting. What's the weather like? The weather in this ball game, ladies and gentlemen, it is a very, 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 very interesting question. Weather is the mitigating factor sometimes. Can you hold on to the ball?
Really? You blame the weather?
Yeah.
You blame the global warming?
Yeah.
On a football game?
Yeah.
It's 62 degrees today at Texas State.
Okay. Give me
San Marcos, Texas.
Give me Texas State.
I'm taking.
Get Bo. Gonna get Bo. Get him.
I'm taking Louisiana on this one.
Gonna get him, Bo. Get him.
All righty. The Running Rebels play host to Nevada today. Who are you taking?
Give me Unlove. Give me Unlove all day. The Running Rebels of Las Vegas.
I'm going to take Nevada in this one. So
they playing in Vegas. Strippers unite. Titty shot.
All righty. Appalachian State against Georgia Southern today. They're 2 hours up the road from me in Statesboro, Georgia today.
Give me App State.
I'm taking the team from Boone, North Carolina. Been there plenty of times. Had a lot of stuff going on up there.
Good people, amazing women.
Yeah. All right, Middle Tennessee at Florida International. Who you got?
Give me Florida International.
I'm taking Middle Tennessee on this one.
They got a nice quarterback too. Middle Tennessee, they do.
All righty. LSU evade Kyle Field and Texas A&M the Aggies. Who you got in this one?
And
is this the game that LSU falls in today?
Jimbo needs this win or he's going to lose his job. It's going to be breaking news. Jimbo Fisher is fired. If Texas A&M loses this game. So you have Florida State, the hottest football team, and you have Texas A&M, the biggest letdown of the year in college football. The two stories today, to me. I do believe when Texas A&M loses this game, Jimbo Fisher will be fired. I think the money and the situation and the process, what's at hand, I think Deion should go there. He already lives in Texas, so that makes sense. LSU, I could see the situation of really going after this to really showcase what they have coming next year. This is more of an exposure game for the talent to come for LSU. But this is definitely, in my mind, a must-win situation for Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher and crew. And if he loses this game, he's fired before Monday. And I am picking LSU to win this game. In College Station, hands down.
That's interesting. That's interesting that you're saying that if Jimbo, because the recruiting class he had this year and the way they were hyping this team up, and now this team has gone from the hype to no hype with no end in sight. You got Kyle Field, that's supposed to be one of the best home field advantage in college football with the 12th man and the brigade. But that, to me, Jimbo Fisher wasn't that top tier coach that everybody thought he was. And to me, what Jimbo Fisher gave me a bad taste is when Florida State forced him, when they forced Bobby Bowden out for him, and not giving Bobby Bowden a chance to retire on his own. So to me, I never liked Jimbo Fisher for that, because you had a school that forced a legend out and you took over. So to me, I think Jimbo Fisher is overhyped. And I think, to me, if he loses this game, I would give him his walking papers right soon the final horn sounds.
Yep. It's kind of like the Jerry Jones, Tom Landry story. That's a sad fucking story that nobody really talks about, should be talked about, should be a 30 for 30. It was rude. It was what they call bad behavior in the way that whole transformation went when Jerry Jones established the Dallas Cowboys and Tom Landry whole situation. It was horrible. It was ugly. And that's what's about to happen with Texas A&M and my man here. He's about to be gone. He did not live up to what he said he could do, would do, and can do. And we gave you the tools and the resources? What? If I give you a car and a place to live and a job, how you showing up late every day? Talk to me. Make it make sense.
You can't.
Thank you.
Jimbo Fisher thinks he's God. He
That's
thinks
where
he's got
we're
the
at.
same. He thinks he's got the same clout that Nick Saban has at Alabama.
No. Texas and Alabama are what, kids? Different states. Should have stayed where your ass was at. You should have kept your ass right there in Florida. The way you got the job, yeah, wrinkle some feathers and all that, but you had the recruitment game locked up. What Jameson did for you was bigger than what you will ever know. But you left after that?
Is this karma? I think this is karma. I think this is the spirit of Bobby Bowden to getting back at Jimbo.
There it is.
What he
Talk
did.
to me. Make it make sense, daddy.
I think he just came. I think he didn't go up straight up there. He went up to talk to God and say, I need to come back and make Jimbo Fisher pay what he did to me at Florida State. And I think this is what happened right here.
Get him. Oh, you think your shit don't stink? I'm going to show you. It smells horrible. Here you go.
They always say, if you do whatever you do to them, they will always come back and get you.
Talk to me, Scott Frost.
So, I mean, to me, I think the way he did Florida State was shitty after what Florida State did to Bobby Bowden, when he made Florida State do to Bobby Bowden. And then you turn around and
he drove a nice car, you left a man with a job. What that get you?
Nothing.
Just because she put her hair a certain way, what that get you? People make bad decisions, and the results, they need to be real with themselves. What I like to call statistical situations.
To me, I think LSU still has a lot to play for because they want to continue their winning ways and stuff like that. But how does that
winning ways?
The winning ways right now?
This is Joe Burrow. After old Ed Ogeron, Waterboy.
The question I got here, the question I'm leading up to is, we know that he self-imposed themselves for penalties. But if they win out and they are not going to be able to go to the postseason, then why are they still in the freaking college playoff race?
Because he's going to donate that money to a worthy cause.
That's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna come up to this thing, because they're gonna have to probably end up replacing them with somebody if they make that playoff decision.
There are a lot of schools. I think it's probably 20 schools that took a self-imposed penalty this year. I could be wrong or right, but it has to be the right situation for anybody to accept that bid.
Yeah.
I thought last week was huge. Today is enormous. It's like February 15th. Everybody think Valentine's Day is special. It's the day before and the day after that are critical.
Well, what they say, the last 2 weeks of college football is the most interesting week because you got this week with all the rivalries coming involved, and then next week with all the championship games involved. And then after that, that's when you see the clear picture of the college playoffs come up.
3 minutes.
So we can possibly have some controversy again for this college playoffs if Alabama ends up making the playoffs.
I'm down.
So, still interesting. We still got a lot of football games to play today and the championship games next week before we get to that final thing. But then this week's coming up. The 5th week is the week that we should see some movement in that top 4 echelon, people getting in and pacing themselves. So we'll see how value the committee has off this week, and then we'll see the last one comes out the following week, and that's when they announce everything. So we'll find all that out here in the next 2 weeks of the college playoffs and the committee how they value these two weeks here of college football in the rivalry. So you taking Texas A&M or you taking LSU?
Give me LSU. I want Jimbo to get fired.
Yeah, I got LSU going to Calfield and winning too. All righty, my friend. The next game will be number 22. UCF goes to Tampa to play the South Florida Bulls. Who you got in this ball game?
My homie Jay lives down in Tampa, so I'm going with UCF.
You're going for the team from Orlando.
UCF. I like the women in Orlando better than the women in Tampa.
Yeah, I got UCF too. And UCF is only 2 hours down the road from me. So,
who has the hotter women, Tampa or Orlando, without you getting in trouble? Can you judge on that? Is it okay?
Well, Orlando's got pretty good size, pretty good looking women down there because you got the Orlando Magic dance team too. So but you see, you get me in trouble now. I can't say.
I
too
didn't
much
say what was her
wife,
name. I said who has the better looking women, Tampa or Orlando? Can you answer it without getting in trouble? And then you proceeded to say,
well,
what you said.
It all depends what kind of women you're looking for.
Women.
It all depends. If you want the women that looks kind of buff looking, you go to Tampa for that. If you're looking for women that has got a nice slimmer body that look like weightlifters, don't look like weightlifters, you go to Orlando. That's how you put them.
Oh my God. You can never be a game show dating host ever. You just ruined that whole segment. All I said, who has the hotter women? That's all I said. Who has the more attractive women? Tampa or Orlando to you?
Me? I don't know. Jacksonville's got most good looking girls too.
God damn it. Let's go to the next game. Let's just go to the next.
But if you really want to pick, I always liked Orlando better because you got Disney down there, you got all the good looking princess and all that stuff. With Disney there, you got a lot of good looking women down in Orlando.
I swear you crack me up, man. I swear you do.
Hey, man, it's my physical nature. It's my comedy side. Some people say, me and Dave Chappelle and Shannon hang out together.
Nobody has nothing together. Trust me on that.
We should become the ebony and ivory of comedy.
I swear the past 24 hours have been hilarious to me, but yeah. What's our next game, buddy?
Number 15, Notre Dame at number 6, USC. This is the game that people are saying that could put USC in that line of the college playoffs right here.
What time is this game?
This game is at 7:30 tonight on ABC.
Fuck. I have to be coherent when this game comes on. Like, I'm not drinking until this game comes on today, because that's
a lot of hours, man. That's 7 hours.
Just smoke weed between the time then. I'm fine with that. But this game has such high significance on the outcome and the dictation of the playoff picture and the future of college football. This matchup is that big today. What Notre Dame's going to do college football-wise moving forward. How the Pac is going to do moving forward. What television is going to do. This game has so much going on, man. There's so much going on. And you know, last December, I went and saw the Notre Dame Glee Club perform here in St. Louis. The Notre Dame Glee Club, I went and saw that. It was amazing. It was beautiful. My buddy Jay that lives in Tampa is a Golden Domer fan. Rudy was offsides. Trojans need to come back.
Now,
the Trojans and the future of that program and what happened for that man to go to USC to be the coach, what we learned about the magnitude of that contract, this game is more – this is the biggest fucking game of the day to me. There's so much more going on television-wise, the future of college football, recruiting, and the betterhood of college football. Give me USC.
The last 5 games Notre Dame has won all their last 5 games. USC is 4-1 in their last 5 games, losing to Utah back on the 15th of October. They haven't lost since then. So Notre Dame had a slow start in the season. They have picked it up here at the end. They are now 8-3 against a 10-1 USC, number 6 USC. Notre Dame wasn't ranked. Now they're all the way up to number 15. Does Notre Dame keep driving?
They could possibly come in a situation where things could get stalled or captivated or taken a different way or approach. But the way that USC is playing and what the magnitude of this game means is bigger than what anybody ever thought. Yeah. Anybody ever thought. Nobody saw this matchup being this important. Like, this game has all kind of things on the other side. I mean, the television, the shifting of the conferences, the affiliation, the recruiting, all of it. There's so much involved in this game.
This game was so big that they didn't want Notre Dame to take the whole pie, so they didn't put it on NBC because every game that's telecast on NBC goes straight to Notre Dame. So they had to move it to ABC. That's how big this game is to share the revenue in this game right here. So, my friend,
it wasn't that big of a deal anyway.
Yeah. So
they never done anything since that contract deal. They haven't really done anything since that happened. But go on.
So, my friend, does USC have anybody that can match up with the tight end and Mayer? Mayer is one of the tight ends that, besides Brock Bowers for Georgia, is another good tight end who gives a mismatch problem. Because if you can't cover with a linebacker, you can't cover with a corner, and you can't cover with a safety. He's a mismatch total thing. But the physicality of him being able to block, you cannot tee off him when he's going to go out and catch the ball because he's a good blocker too. So now he reminds me of Mark Trubaro too. You know, the great tight end for the Giants. He reminds me of him too. So with that quality, how does Lincoln Riley and his defensive coordinator come up with a plan to stop Myers? If they can't stop Myers, then Notre Dame can have a field day because the physical running style they play and then him in the passing game is lethal.
Great points right there, right? I think that Lincoln Riley is under the mindset of you and I. We've learned from the past. We've learned from our predecessors. No one player is going to beat me. If you think that one player is going to beat me, go ahead. My team is going to beat you. My team is going. If you want to throw the ball 17 times to one player, go ahead. Go ahead. But this team going to beat you. And I don't want Notre Dame to go in that mentality. It has to be an effective approach to play against the mindset of Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley is thinking ahead. He's already preparing for next Saturday. Now, I know today is this Saturday. He's one of those type of coaches. He's not arrogant. He's not cocky. He's so assured of the situation that he already knows the outcome. And that's the vision of USC and the power of this matchup today. I think, again, it's more than these two teams that are playing that's on the line. This is the future of college football in this game right now. When this game is played, this is the future of college football. Where they're going to go with the television money, where they're going with the conference matchup. This game is that big.
So how does Notre Dame stop the quarterback Williams, who's been very good this year? Very good. Great this year, really. He's like an unstoppable force. He can run and throw the ball. So how do you stop that kind of a dual threat quarterback?
You know, we talk a lot about how the defense perpetuates the offense in some moments. This may be the reverse factor for the Golden Domers of Notre Dame and the Fighting Irish. Maybe the offense can do something different to spark the defensive support of Notre Dame in stopping USC. That is the most challenging point to me. There's been a long time since we've seen teams that, well, Tennessee does it, but the offense pumps up the defense.
Yeah.
We've seen in UGA, that being Georgia, the defense pumps up the offense. Maybe this needs to be a shift in performance with Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's true too. So who you got in this ball game then, my friend?
I want to shake up the moment, man. I tell you, I want to see somebody get choked out, explain that contusion on their face on Tuesday during the press conference when they're doing the latest college football breakdown, college playoff tree. Give me USC, man. Shake it up. Give me USC winning. UCLA done their job. Let's shake some shit up next week. Let's go.
I say you want to shake everything up. Let Notre Dame beat USC, and everything's gonna go to shit frame next week.
Well, if Notre Dame wins, everybody's
still
right.
It throw a monkey wrench into everything too.
How? If Notre Dame beats USC, how does that throw a monkey wrench? Because UCLA won yesterday.
But take back the scenario too that if TCU lose and if Notre Dame beats USC. Then we got to put then they're going to try to put a number two.
Just on this game, how can Notre Dame shake it up based on UCLA winning yesterday? How can Notre Dame shake it up? They need help. Help in a big way. There are probably three teams got to fall for this game to be effective, in the words of Notre Dame winning this game against USC. But if USC wins, it shakes up the whole fucking thing. It's making Notre Dame think about shifting, moving to a real legitimate conference.
Yeah,
it's making the television rights to possibly shift in the favor of the pack.
But I think Notre Dame's riding high right now in the last 5 games, and they have seen the ways that they needed to do, and I think they're more physicality and running their attack than USC's defense will be able to handle too, because that's what they have. That's based on the wins of Notre Dame, they have been more physical than the team they have played.
I hope Keyshawn Johnson is at the game today. I really do. I don't want Pete Carroll nowhere around this damn team. Maybe Reggie Bush.
Is Reggie Bush going to bring Wendy's with him if he comes today? and his Heisman Trophy Wendy's?
They better give him his trophy back. Give him his trophy back.
His trophy ain't coming back.
Back to him. He did nothing wrong. Well, he did do something. But I got USC. Wrong. I got USC.
I got Notre Dame. All right, Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Does Vanderbilt continue the 3-game winning streak? 2 games.
Who the hell quarterback of Tennessee? Who is quarterback of Tennessee?
The former Michigan quarterback that transferred out of Michigan.
And are we in Nash Vegas? Or we're
yep. No, we're in Vegas. No, we're in Nash Vegas.
Thanksgiving weekend. The Santa run was yesterday. This morning. Give me Vandy as Dandy. I'm taking Vandy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with y'all. I think there's gonna be an upset there.
Yeah.
Oklahoma at Texas Tech. The Red Raiders. Who you got?
Give me Oklahoma.
Nah, I'm going to take Oklahoma because they won. All righty, my friend. Is this the game that fires Dino Barbers? Syracuse at Boston College. Who you got?
You know, I don't like when coaches get fired during the holiday season, but at least it is during the holiday season. You get holiday pay, and you have time to reflect on what the family's going to do. So you got to change the game. You got the wrong game up top.
I know.
Okay. But this could be the game that Syracuse pulled this out, though. I got Syracuse winning this.
Yeah, I got Syracuse too.
Got them winning.
All right, next game will be Tulsa at Houston. Who you got?
Houston. They like to air that thing out. You got to air that thing out.
Yeah, I got Houston in this one myself.
Like a big ass. Sometimes don't wear underwear. You got to air that thing out.
The Battle of Kansas. Kansas Jayhawks versus the Kansas State Wildcats. Wildcats got to have this victory today. So who you got? You got the Jayhawks, or you got the basketball team, or you got the football team?
Give me K-State all day. K-State all day.
Yeah, I think K-State is more physical than them. All right. Miami doesn't have anything to play with. Cristobal showed up there. Everybody had the expectation. They never fell through. They didn't win the Coastal. Does the King win today in Miami against the Pittsburgh Panthers?
Considering what happened yesterday to my Florida football Gators, I'm rolling with Pitt.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Pitt too on this one. All right, Air Force will go to San Diego State. Who you got?
Give me Air Force.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with the military. All military. The predication of the Navy and Army game next week, so we stay with the military too on that one. Number 13, Washington against Washington State. The Battle of the Washington.
Give me the Huskies.
You're gonna take the Huskies? I think the Cougars are gonna upset the Huskies. So because Washington Huskies will know by the time they play if they are in the Pac-12 championship game contention, because Oregon plays ahead of them. So, all right, the last game here. The last game is here. Is Brian Shaw going to be fired from Stanford if they lose today against BYU?
I think Brian Shaw's job is in safety. I think he has incriminating evidence in his phone or audio or video on somebody. But I'm just disappointed in the way this program has really outlived and performed. Give me those guys who are not allowed to put out in the women of BYU and Steve Young's great-great-grandfather, Brigham Young. Brigham Young is this called. Brigham Young. Brigham Young Cougars is this called. Brigham Young Cougars.
That's who you're going with?
Yep. Give me BYU.
All right, we have all our pick'ems here today. We have all 47 teams in play. We have picked all 47 teams. We have broken a few games down for you here on the All Sports All Plays Network. We are continuing on along next Saturday at 9 o'clock. We'll be bringing you all the breakdown of the championship game and the Army-Navy game. Hopefully that will be issued. Hopefully we'll bring out military gear out on that show there. We're both veterans here. We're both Navy veterans. Dre, we got less than 2 minutes here. What games are you going to watch today? What are on your bucket list today?
I'm definitely going to watch the Ohio State University game. I'm definitely going to watch the Penn State game. And I'm a little curious about the LSU outcome. And I may take a sneak peek at 808 in the building, Hawaii. Again, I'm not gambling this weekend because we're getting ready for the holidays. We're still trying to get a PlayStation 5. So I'm saving my money to try to get a PS5. So I'm not gambling again until March Madness. I'm done gambling for the year. I'm holding off until March Madness because I'm trying to get a PS5.
Yeah, that's my next thing too, is get a PS5, because in 2024, the EA Sports will be bringing out the return of the college football game for the PS for the video game. So that's what I'm leading up to. That's why I need to get it. And
That's
also
they delayed it a year. They're supposed to come out this year, but they delayed it a year. That's some bullshit. But go ahead, my bad.
So it's supposed to come out in 2023, but the reason they haven't done it is they try to sell this to Notre Dame, because right now Notre Dame said they weren't going to be part of it. They're trying to get Notre Dame involved, so they have to come out and have some issues. That's why they were delayed again, but they only have a few teams that haven't signed up yet, and they're trying to go around. What they wanted to do is they wanted to go around next year to every college stadium and get the real atmosphere. I read a little bit about it. They want to get the real atmosphere of the college sports and their tradition to make sure it is right on the game for itself. And they also saying they want to add some they're going to add their team's coaches on the games too, to make them look like the actual coach on the sidelines.
So this game is going to be $150. If they're doing all that, this game going to be over $100. Shit.
Hey, inflation, man, inflation.
No, man. We didn't get in this video game playing stage and play no $150 for no game. I thought I would line at $25. Then it went to $50. Now games are $100. $100.
Yeah, I know. That's why I only buy one game a year. I always wait till the college football game come out before I buy them again. I'll buy 2K for basketball. I buy the 2K series.
I got my ass beat on 2K yesterday. No, on Madden. I threw 6 interceptions and lost by 6 points. It wasn't pass deflected. It was no glitch. I threw the ball to the wrong person.
Well, my friend, I'm going to watch the Georgia. The game will be on. I'll probably have the Georgia game on my regular TV, and then my other 3 screens will be light up with the Ohio State and all that on my computer. I got Game Day Central. But, from that, my friend, we are led you all the way up to kickoff time. The season is going by really fast. But I will stay. The College Breakdown Show at the end of the season will still be here. We'll break down some of the bowl games. But also during basketball season, we will continue this motto to basketball. I don't know if Dre will join me, but, So if Dre doesn't join me.
It's football. No.
But,
Nice try. You almost got me right there.
But we'll continue on when bowl season starts. We'll bring up the bowl games and lead you all the way up to the national championship game. Will you be here for that, Dre?
Oh yeah, I told you we're gonna do the watch. We're gonna do like the Mannings do.
Yeah, we're gonna do a watch party for the
spread. Whole nine. We're gonna watch the game and commentate on the game. We're gonna do that.
All right. So I'll prepare the scoreboard for that game too, so we can keep the score up on the thing too. So there we go, my friend. Been a good show. Always having fun on the show with you, Dre. With your big balls there, your Christmas ball looking thing, yeah. He's our Elite Corso type deal. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. He's got his hat. You can follow Dre on his podcast.
When you live alone, you can come up with a lot of things to do and say and get into. You can do all of that. I didn't go out and kick it Thanksgiving Eve like they call it Skanksgiving. I didn't do it like in years past. I was actually home before 11. Thanksgiving was different but fun and enjoyable. Last night, I was home before 10. So I think I can't kick it no more.
Yeah.
My body is like, hey, man, take your ass home. Like about 9 o'clock, it's like.
Yeah. You can listen, Dre, on the Who's to Blame podcast. Just click that. It takes you to his website and all that stuff, so you can see all his shows that he does. He does a very good show here on the All Sports All Plays Network with his own shows too. I just give him a big shout out. It's always good to have Dre on here. I am Ray. This is Dre. This is the All Sports All Place College Breakdown on the All Sports All Place Network. And Dre's hat. Oh yeah, I forgot to do something here. Yes. If you want a hair like Dre, buy the Dre stuff, man. There you go. You didn't think I had it near me, did you? Yeah. Yep. I always have to keep it close by because sometimes I might want to bring out the Dre Dro. You know, if you want to know what Dre looks like as a white person, there you go. You got it right there. Boom. Look at that.
Oh my God. Too funny, dude. Too funny.
Hey,
good luck to
you know
everybody
what?
that's gambling today. Good luck to everybody, team, your college, your affiliation, whoever you're rooting for. Good luck to y'all. But today, I think today is probably one of the biggest days in college football.
Hey, you know what, Dre? We should do a comedy show. Go tour around the comedy show, man.
Oh, man. Too funny, man. Too funny.
And once again, this has been Ray and Dre. This has been the All Sports All Place College Breakdown on the All Sports All Place Network. Coming up next on the All Sports All Place Network, we got Red Kingdom. They do a very good job at the Kansas City Chiefs with Greg and the Guru. And then later on tonight, we will have Unscripted with Jay and his crew. And since Jag Nation didn't come on last night, we'll have Jag Nation later on this evening, too, with me breaking down the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Baltimore Ravens here in Jacksonville. I will be at the game on Sunday. So peace out, everybody. Y'all have a good day. And George, all the college football, because the last 2 weeks of games here are going to be interesting for the college playoffs coming down. See y'all later.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.